big up, and welcome to Liberal 12th Man Show. I'm Liberal 12th Man, and we are joined by Lee and the Irishman. And we are going to be going over some ratings today. We're going to be doing some little bits of reviews of the week, I guess you could say. Light review of the week. So just to kind of get into some of the other games that went on, because I'm sure some of us watched some of the games that kind of basically shaped the position that we're in now, which is top of the leagues, plural, by the way. Emphasizing that as much as possible, trying to get that to go viral or go.
Yes, there's more than one league. 20,000 leagues under the sea.
That's true too. That's very true too. But big up to Callum. I see you. Definitely 9 and 5 are the numbers of the day now. Yep. I'd like to say it as I like to think of it as we are on our 9 to 5. Often I know everyone works different hours and the likes, but that was actually a movie. I think Dolly Parton was in it, and I think some of the other names in it. 9 to 5, right?
Oh yeah, 9 to 5.
Working 9 to 5.
Yeah, the song was a big hit over here. And the film was actually. It was Lily Tomlin, and it was.
Yeah, that's it. Lily Tomlin.
Yep. That was quite funny. The boss was funny, wasn't he?
Oh yeah. He was good, actually. He was really good.
Yeah, is it Dabney Coleman? Is it Dabney Coleman, the fella?
I think that might be it. I don't. Brian,
I think it's
Brian
him. Yeah,
back us up on that one. I'm not certain. Dude, he was fun. He was in a couple of big movies too.
Yeah, he was in Boardwalk Empire recently.
Yes, he was.
Commodore.
Yes,
that was it.
He was the Commodore. He was the Commodore. Wow, great shot there. Nice little movies section there. Movies and actually series, but that's cool. Definitely cool TV series. But back to the football. 9 to 5 is certainly the numbers today, because we are now sitting 5 points clear of City, 9 points clear of Gunnar Lee's Arsenal. So I want to make sure you understand that. Gunnar Lee's Arsenal sit 9 points behind us right at this very moment. I can only imagine what is being said on AFTV, on all the other I don't know if he has his own channel or not, but on what's being said by all the Gooners out there. Condolences, to Luca. I'm sure that he's a good guy, so I don't have any bone to pick with Luca. But yeah, it's not easy roads right now for some people out there. But it is definitely looking bright and shiny for us as Reds. So, Brian, we spoke on it yesterday. I don't know if you watched the game back or not, but share with us again what was your thoughts on the game, and also what your moment was yesterday, or if you had multiple moments, what was it for yesterday's game?
Well, looking back, it hasn't really changed a lot. My thoughts on it, I don't really. I don't feel hugely comfortable, but it's a great win. Everything went their way, but it was. It wasn't a great. It was a tactical game. It was a tough game, and we were under pressure. Lots of it. We weren't very happy for big moments of it. But looking back on it, we probably were okay for most of it. We were probably on top in most bits and pieces, but it wasn't the most comfortable to watch. At 1-0, we were taught he was trying to lock it down too early. I still feel like he probably went a bit early with the subs, but it all worked out perfectly in the end for him. So Yeah, it's there's a reason why. Like, yeah, they're not in the best form, but like we did pick it out as probably one of the toughest games in this run up until now, them and Arsenal. So yeah, I think they showed that, but I think like we dealt with them to a degree. We dealt with them pretty comfortably. Like we didn't give Ollie Watkins much. We weren't really happy with the amount of time and space they were giving Luca Dean, and he nearly hurt us a couple of times. And if it wasn't for that, like my moment of the match, I think that little kind of what would you call it, like a 2 minute spell or two corner spell where Keller pulled out two massive saves to keep us in the game. And after that, I think that was kind of it for them, But it would have been nice to get that second goal a lot earlier. But yeah, that was my moment of the game, and it was Kelleher pulling off those two kind of whirlies and making everybody sit back and go, we're good, we're cool. We don't have to worry about Ali. Even if Ali needs an extra 2 weeks out, we'll be fine. We'll be cool with this guy.
Okay. We have Nalante joining us as well. Big up, Nalante.
Yeah, big up, Paul. Yeah, big up, Brian. Big up, Lee. Big up the chat.
All right.
Evening to you, Red Armchair supporter, by the way, and big up, Edward. How are you? Would have been more comfortable, except we missed big chances to go 2 up early, which kept Villa in it. I can understand and agree with that. I understand that there's we had our definite chances to basically put this game away somewhat early, but then again, Villa had chances as well, and they had some big chances certainly in this game. I have some points. I have some stuff that I took notes on because I watched the game back, and but I thought it was a fairly even match, in my opinion, because I have the ultimate respect for Villa. I was saying that this year I thought that they will, obviously I said that they would be a candidate to probably be in the top 4 once again, because I think they've reached this level where their coach, who I do really, really think is arguably one of the best coaches in Europe, if not certainly in the league, Emery could get some type of results against some of the top teams in the league. And this game was a calculated, very blue collar style game, in my opinion. Like as in, we had to work for everything today, or yesterday, I should say, for what was a game Villa really wanted. You could tell that they needed this game. I mean, they were on a losing streak. They definitely want to get back to their winning ways. So they played physical, which I wasn't at all not expecting. And we created our chances, our big chances, at least from the counters, a lot of them from set piece counters. And what was unique about that, too, was that they have some very good and very tall players, obviously. So they have some very capable players to have to contend against in corners. And it was not an easy matchup for any of our defenders to take on when it came to their set pieces. But we ended up prevailing, and as long as we were able to get through a lot of what we got through, we ended up making something happen out of those opportunities.
Pau Torres got on me nerves with his antics in the area when he come up for corners. He was whinging a lot, wasn't he, Pau Torres? That alleged share pull from Bradley was tiny, and it did happen. But as they say, there just wasn't any sustained. It wasn't enough for him to go to ground. If that's enough to make you fall over, then you're a very weak person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nalate, did you have some insight, or did you have some thoughts on the game that you maybe like after letting it all sink in, something else came out a little clearer to you, or something like Oh, Nalate's on mute. I'll ask the same question to you, Lee. Actually, I'll ask the same question to you. did you have a little something that, like the same question I asked to Brian, is there something from the game that, you know, after thinking about it a little bit more, or maybe seeing a couple different like match reviews or whatever, you might maybe got a little different perspective on something, and that you just wanted to.
Yeah, I was thinking mainly about like the second goal, settling our nerves yesterday, and that was like the moment when I thought, you know, obviously the game was done, and maybe in a way it did us good to not get it until later. You know, we had to work for it, didn't we? Like, but I think I would enjoy Bradley's performance because he's been out injured, not for long, but he's had a small injury and he's come back now. He's come into the side and he was exemplary, wasn't he, in the right back position coming in and helping us defend the lead. Yeah, he was excellent. I like him when he, you know, when he gets forward, when he chases down like the opposite fullback and robs it off him and sets Mo up. I like it when he gets in like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Big up. I just answered a question in the chat there. Big up to Bernie in the house, one of our Red Jewels. Always a pleasure to see her in the chat. Bayesian Pops. Big up, big up, big up to a fellow football romantic and the doctor in the house for sure. Big up, big up. And hi, Lore. I said hello to Callum. And let me see, make sure I said hello to Red Armchair supporter, saying hello officially. But there was a comment here by Hylor says, I've been told that Mohamed Salah staying at Liverpool during the international break will be very important for the club to bring serious contract renewal negotiations. He's also been told that Liverpool knows Salah is asking for a new 2-year contract. I heard that he's asking for 3 years, to be honest. I heard that it's 3 years and that we are offering 2 years. Whether we offer maybe the way to kind of, you know, bridge or make a compromise out of it is to say 2 plus like a year option or something like that, or a team option, or maybe even like a team/player option if he wants to have some type of control over his destiny. He can maybe do something like that. But yes, that's what I heard, that it is 2 years that he wants, or excuse me, 2 years that he's been offered, but 3 years is what he wants. So we'll figure it. I'm sure they're going to figure something out and make it work, because Salah, King Mohamed Salah, is truly just that. He is a special, special player. Arguably best player in Europe right now. Arguably, we had our little Ballon d'Or conversation yesterday. Easily someone that should be on that list, I think, personally. But even with the injury that he went through, because all players go through injuries in their campaigns, pretty much. Even with the injury, I think that Salah should be someone that is in that conversation, because he's still putting up those kinds of numbers with the injury. You know, if you really put perspective on it, it is pretty impressive. It's very, very impressive. Yes, definitely, Hyler. Salah reached 10 goals and 10 assists on Saturday. So this is a milestone again. Looks legit to me too. I agree with that completely. Looks legit to me too.
I think Brian and Nalante agreed that a 2-year deal is probably the most likely one that he'd be offered, wouldn't it? By FSG, possibly with the option for an extra year. You know, look at it again in 2 years' time, sort of thing, like, and see if he wants to stay then.
Bernie's
given me that was most likely. That was the most likely offer that we've made.
Yeah. Bernie and Joe both have very, very valid points. Go ahead, Brian. I was going to bring up.
He put in a quote. Who is that quote from? That's not Hyler saying he's been told. He has it in quote marks. So who is it that said that? Right. Who are you quoting?
Yeah. I don't think Hyler was personally told.
Yeah, he didn't put at the end who it was actually that said it. Unless I missed it,
I don't
Well,
think
here's
I don't
something
think
I
Is it
heard.
Romano or is it one of these random,
Yeah, away
Channel
from
4
Mo.
commentators?
Yeah, away
I
from
think it
Mo,
was
I heard.
maybe right here. It's right here. It says, and this evening something pops up on the internet. Arabic reporter Ismail Mahmoud has
Oh, okay.
claimed that the fortnight will provide time for serious contract renewal negotiations. And then
Well, he's not going away, so he'll be in the building. So get down, sit
yeah,
around the
yeah, yeah,
table with
yeah.
him. They'll be there for. They'll all
He
be in.
likes
They'll all be there. So
I
make it happen.
on the insider insider looks for the team. We all know they like to sit at that little like coffee. He likes to drink. I think he likes to drink coffee, or so like he likes to sit that little coffee or that little coffee bar that's like right in
Something
front.
I heard. I was watching like a Sky analysis of Pep's, losing streak, and how unprecedented it is. And the Sky, I don't know whoever the Sky woman presenter was. I knew the two guys she was talking to, but she said like Pep agreed to. He said he will sign a new 1-year contract. No. Less than that, no more or no less than that, or some shit like. But it didn't sound very official what she was saying about Guardiola signing a new contract. Put it that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Sky talk a lot of crap on their talk, but sometimes they say a lot of things that aren't true. I was rather hoping this was his last season, and that next season Slot won't be facing him again.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Quick answer to Trap Joe's, I say Mojo's, Trap Joe's question about Mo, and that is the rumor 2 years plus 1 extension for Salah. The rumor was that he is getting offered 2 years currently, and that he wants 3. That was the rumor. I know that also that's the same for basically. I think I don't know if I personally don't believe that it's connected to whether how long Virgil stays or how long Salah stays, and that's the reason why they want 3 years. But it is right now currently that Virgil reportedly wants 3 years. Mo wants 3 years. It just kind of correlates to being the same amount of years that they would have on their 2 years plus an option is what I would like. I personally would have like suggested. That was what I was actually asking before any of these rumors even came out. I was just like, hey, let's get him signed up for obviously a 2 year plus another year would be technically 4 years in essence because that's including this year. So. And big up, Luca. We're just
Sky
about you.
presenter was who was peddling the idea of a new Guardiola. Sorry to jump in on you. Peddling the idea of a new Guardiola contract being signed. The way she said it, it was as if she talked to him herself. The way she said it, like, which makes me think it wasn't true.
This international break. Yeah, make the best of this international break. We're gonna have some great shows lined up too, by the way. We're going to have some really, really cool shows lined up where we'll be able to play. We're going to have some games, like some trivia games. We have some not only trivia games, some really cool takes on some trivia games, some adaptations of some games. We also have a game night that we're going to try to put together. It's going to be it's not going to just be per se trivia, but your normal take on trivia, but it'll be fun. And also we have a lot of rankings, a lot of news and talk, of course, and conversation as well with the best chat in the world, my mighty Reds out there. So it should be fun times over the international breaks. Don't get too down in the dumps that we won't be able to watch our Liverpool play. We will have plenty to say. For sure. Look at that. I'm a poet and you didn't even know it, huh? So back to this game though. I think Nolante might be ready for us to hear his side of what he thought about the game, his opening thoughts on what he thought about the game. And then we're going to get into some ratings. and also get into just some conversation. As I would like to, we have a little time. We're starting the ratings a little early, so we could probably, talk about certain players a little bit more in depth and in this section coming up. So, Nolante, are you with us right now? I know that you're a little busy. Yep, cool. What are some of your opening thoughts on the game? As in, like, what were some of your thoughts after now having 24 hours to have allowed all to sink in, and also to watch, some of the weekend's events go down?
Before starting the game, 12. So what I would say is, I watched two interesting games: the Forest Newcastle one and the Chelsea Arsenal. And Forest Morello, he should be a centre back we should be targeting in the future. Very good, the Brazilian centre back. But Newcastle played well.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, my guy Isak. Isak again. So he done well. And the Chelsea Arsenal game was not a great game, to be honest. I'm a bit surprised, but yeah, it was a bit of a weird one that the Chelsea caught life at the end, when really Arsenal should have buried that. But anyway, that's fine. It doesn't matter. That's more funnish to us. We move. But what I would say about yesterday's game, we started the first half better than we have in the previous 3 to 4 games. It's been very slow, but there's still inconsistency. I think there's this period of 15, 20 minutes we done well, and then there's periods where we were just a little bit lackadaisical with our defending in terms of the midfield bit again, which I'm a little bit concerned about, just getting a bit over pressed in the midfield a bit, because Grav can only do so much. If he's by himself, there's not much we can do. Villa puffed and puffed, really. They did play a heart. Obviously, Kelleher with the 2 saves, and Kelleher Nini conceded a clanger when he completely missed that cross.
Oh,
And
yeah.
if he was much more aware, then it's 1-1. So a little bit of lapses of concentration. I thought Phoebe did a little bit in Ibu at times, but apart from that, we deserved the win. And then again in the second half, obviously Ibu fell. I don't know if he hurt himself, but again, Rodgers, you should have buried that. But we control, and obviously Nunes. At least one thing I will say about Nunes, he's more in the game involved. He's been starved, but he's more involved in the game, getting his shots off. Listen, man, look, I don't think he needs to be told. He should be burying that second chance. I think he knows. And then the first one, as a good finish, I thought he might miss that, but and Salah just doing Salah things. But it's I'm looking at Salah, but again, I don't think we complain if he's in and out of the game and then he gets a goal and assist in every game. We wouldn't complain. So we've done enough to win. There's still, again, I would say there's still things to improve. But one thing, Slot, which I didn't like, was take off two of the main players that were playing well, Nunes and Jones, which could have backfired because they were both playing well, and I don't think they were deserving to come off. But end of the day, no stress. We won 2-0, 5 points clear, and yeah, we still got gears to go. We still got gears to go.
That's right. I was putting in. I saw the comment in the chat. No NASCAR for me today. My shake and bake was yesterday. How about that? My shake and bake. A little Ricky Bobby for you. Ricky Bobby for there. Shake and baked. But I agree with you completely, though, with the substitution. Substitutions was a little. If there was anything, we will get a rating in there for the coach, but if there was anything, there was that the substitutions did have me a little bit scratching my head a little bit as to why we went that direction. But I guess it is what it is. It is what it is. We got the win, so I mean, we'll hopefully it doesn't, like, substitutions like that don't come back to bite us basically in games that we could we definitely will be having to scrape out or claw for results in, because that was weird. I thought Curtis was having a great game. I thought was definitely involved in a lot of what he was doing, but I also thought Darwin was very engaged and involved in what we're trying to accomplish. And I guess if anything, you know what, it makes, and the chat can tell me too, like if you guys could put a 1 in the chat if you are on board for it, or a 2 if you're like not so much a fan of it, and that is this whole new Lucho as a number 9 effort, which is basically what we saw him go back to by bringing in Cody, actually, and taking out Darwin. He went back to what we saw in that Brighton matchup, of having the Lucho at the false 9. It created obviously a really, really good result for us, but is it the future for us? We'll go to Nalante, Lee, and then we'll end with Brian on that question. And again, tell me in the chat what you guys think about it too, please. We know how we are on this channel. We always definitely stress that we get your contribution to the conversation. So, Nalante, how do you feel about that? Are you on board, or are you not so much? Is it not so much? You're not sold?
No, I wouldn't say I'm sold. No, not for me. I mean, I guess. Yes, all right. I guess again, like I said, Jota's out, so Nunes needs some rest. So, in extreme circumstances, fine. But if Jota and Nunes are both fit, we don't need to go there. We don't need to go there.
Okay, Lee, are you sold?
No, I'm not sold on it being anything other than a sticking plaster. This Diaz playing in the 9. It's just needs must at the moment. I think the good thing is so far, what is it? 15 wins out of 17 games, and there's definitely loads of room for improvement. We can improve defensively, I believe, and we can improve it in the attack by converting more chances. So there's plenty of things for Slot to work on, isn't there? Why the breaks going on, plenty for him to ponder, isn't there? So that can only be good that we're like, 15 wins out of 17, just 1 loss, and we can improve. That's quite scary for some of our rivals, actually.
And I get it too. I see. Big up to everyone commenting. I appreciate that. That's what we're going to be doing. I'm going to get Brian's comment and then or thoughts, and then I'm going to bring in your comments in the chat. Brian, are you sold on this false 9 now that we've seen it more than once? It wasn't like a one-time
Diaz
thing.
doing it. Do you mean like specifically with Diaz doing it?
Yeah,
because
I
was going to say,
I
was going to say, it's nice to have something new or something different, in your locker, a new way of doing things. That's always handy. But when you think about it, it's basically just what we do if Jota is there. So we've done it loads of times already this season. Basically, he's very similar to what Jota was doing. So it's not like a real different shift. So I didn't see his post match. Maybe it's just minutes in the legs for Darwin or something like that, but he knows it worked. But it's not like a million miles away from what we do if we had Jota there. So
I mean, the primary, I guess. Then let me structure the question better. Then with Lucho doing it more so, considering he's not a striker per se, like as in Diego. Yes, he's a 9 for us. You could even argue maybe if Cody was involved in that role, we've seen him play as a striker or a number 9 for us and for even Holland. But again, like Lucho's primarily used as a winger, and we have an option out there in Cody, but we still have Lucho in the middle spot. So it's a little bit different.
That's the thing, you see. That's what I think it's about, is because I think Slot thinks the same way that a lot of people think, and something that I think as well is that Cody needs to play in that position on the left to get really to make him really effective. So I think this is his way of getting Cody on the pitch and being able to not have Nunes on the pitch if he needs to take him off. I think he's very. I don't think he sees. I think he's just very set on that's where Cody should play. Diaz is much better at being able to play different positions than Cody is. So I think that it gets the best out of Cody doing that. I think it's really Diaz a really good option in that, because if you've got someone in that area who can work the way he can work, if he knows what to do and when to do it, very important central areas. Then you've got two out and out goal scorers either side of him, Salah and Gakpo. It's not like we're missing out. We're taking out. We still have a Gakpo and a Salah there. That's a lot of goals. Plus Diaz can score. So I kind of do like it a little bit in how it's something new and it gives teams something different to think about. And like everyone's saying, it works maybe just in moments or in certain times. But yeah, it wouldn't be a thing going forward. With Diaz, that's our new thing now. When Diaz starts every game in that position, couldn't see that happening.
Okay. That was just a question. I'll bring in some of the comments from the chat here. Get past the NASCAR talk. Let's see. For Edward, he's saying it's not for him. He's not a fan of it. Red Armchair supporter saying one, not for all games, but certainly for some. Okay, so he's on board with that. Talk about NASCAR. Lucho as a 9 might be a new height of attacking when Diego isn't available. Okay. Pop's opinion is we are shorthanded, so it's just a temporary move. I think that's a unique perspective in that. And what I mean by is a unique perspective in that if it works, maybe it does become an option. Maybe it does become a suitable selection to go with. We've seen it obviously do very, very well for us. But maybe it does. I guess it was against Leverkusen, excuse me. That's who he got the hat trick for. I said Brighton. But he was involved in a false 9 role in the Brighton matchup as well. Excuse me. But if it does start working for us, does it become like a feasible option, or is it just this is just what we have. This is just a temporary option, once we do have a more viable assortment of components to choose from, being that we have Chiesa back and we have Diego back, does it become something of a, okay, let's move on. We don't have to resort to it. Excuse me. But if it works, it works. I just wanted to know what you guys were feeling about that.
Yeah, I think it's good for certain types of games. I don't think, and you just said he's tried it now and he's found out it works. Like we switched to it, we won. We started with it against Leverkusen, we won. We switched to it against Villa and we got the second goal and we didn't concede. So it's something that he knows he can rely on. I think, it's good to know that you can switch to it, and everyone's used to it now.
Yeah, that's what Red Armchair supporter was saying too. He says we tried it twice, and it has produced 3 goals so far, which is the truth. It has resulted. It's resulted even more than 3 goals. Actually, it's resulted in a goal yesterday, and it also has resulted, obviously, in 4 goals technically in the Leverkusen game, and even resulted in a goal in the Brighton matchup too. Bernie saying, I think Diaz can play in any position up front, but it depends if the other players react quick enough to him. There was a lot of missed passes yesterday. There were a lot.
Quick enough to the other players sometimes.
Yeah, there were a lot of Brian, I remember made a comment about something about like golf when you're golfing, sometimes if a player is playing bad, it can be contagious, and like
Yeah,
even though
bad
you
golf
could be
is
dialed
contagious.
in, what's that?
Lucho can have his head
Yeah,
down too much sometimes, so he doesn't spot the other player. He didn't spot McAllister on the edge of the box yesterday, and then when he did decide to pass, it was nowhere near Bradley, who was beyond McAllister. I don't know who he was aiming for. Remember that pass where we went, who the hell was that to?
Yeah.
That one where Lucho has his head down and he ain't looking properly, he could have laid it off nicely to McAllister, who had good space to crack a good shot off, and we know Max got one from that distance, and he just put it nowhere.
They all did. I mean, Mo had
we
had like, what was it, a 3-on-2? I want to think. I think it was something like that, or a 4-on-3. We had the numbers, I think, in one of the runs, and Mo's pass was like behind. It was like he could have made. He should have made a better one,
wasn't it? Yeah, but I mean that one was nearly there. The one that Diaz done was just nowhere near.
Nowhere near.
Like,
Yeah,
what are we doing?
Yeah.
But yeah, we won anyway. Like as I said, maybe having to hang on till the end will do the team good. Because it's not. We're not going to have it all our own way. Like after the break, we're going to have tough times and tough games. So maybe that done us good to be in like a bit of a nail biter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Trapiro says that he thinks this depends on the opponent and their defensive qualities when choosing Lucho as a number 9. That's a valid point. Definitely. It's a nice option. I think it's just a nice option. Just like Red Armchair Support says, temporary option with the potential to be more regular. I think it's the fact that this coach is willing to not only experiment but be bold with his experiments, because I don't think anyone really had Lucho being a 9 for us. Basically, that's why it was very interesting. Let me get this last point in here. Heiler says he thinks it's more a question of rotation and resting players. And yesterday, he showed us the stats regarding what pairing on the left side slot prefers. Excuse me. And yeah, okay. That's I think it depends on the competition too, by the way. Like, as in, I wouldn't say unfortunately, but somewhat unfortunately, we've had to take on Premier League teams in the cup matches, so that has definitely tempered the choices that we normally would make in the selections and rotations. But all the same, we've made some really, really good ones in these.
Yeah, I think we'll probably see it again, Lucho, in the 9. We'll see it more in the season, but significantly less if Jota's fit, obviously. But he knows it works now, as you said. We played 2 difficult opponents in Leverkusen and Villa. Okay, they were both home games. We played 2 difficult.
And Brighton, by the way, Brighton was not an easy Brighton is not an easy. Also, not only is Brighton not an easy opponent for us, it's just statistically not an easy opponent for us, considering we had only gotten 2 wins out of 9 when we were that stat of 2 out of 9 was like probably pretty surprising for a lot of people.
It was for me. I didn't know it. I didn't know. I knew it was somewhere around there, but I didn't know it was as bad as 2 in 9 against Brighton.
Yep, they have they definitely have a number on us. Heiler has a question for the chat and also for the panel. Let's do this, and then we're going to get into these ratings. I have them ready to rock. So, what is your favorite pairing on the left side? Tsimikas and Cody, or Robbo and Lucho? Panel, what would you say, Nalante, is your preferred pairing?
Robbo, Lucio.
Okay. One for Robbo and Lucho. If you don't want to write out the pairing in the chat, you can just put a number 1 for Tsimikas and Cody, or a number 2 for Robbo and Lucho. I'd love to see what you guys think is your decision or your choice. Brian, number 1 or selection 2?
My preferred pairing would be Robbo and Gakpo. So
okay,
neither
of course, Brian. But what these 2 choices too?
Gakpo finds Robbo well with balls down the line, doesn't he? You know, when Gakpo drifts in, like he finds Robbo well with them balls, then aimed down to the byline for Robbo to get one in from the byline. I like that about Gakpo and Robbo together.
Yeah.
If you want me to pick
Robbo in that way too, but Gakpo does it a bit better.
Yeah. Look at
if you want me to pick from that one, then going into a big game, then I'd go with Robbo and Diaz. Unfortunately, but Gakpo is my preferred choice. But in a big game, just Diaz and Robbo is very rock solid. You know, and you've got the quality as well.
Okay. For you, you somewhat got into your answer, but for you got to pick these two. By the way,
yeah, I picked Robbo
between these two. These are the two. These are two of the more selected, as in the two that we have seen be selected. More
Put it this way: if it's if it was for
usually when we see Simicast, we do see Cody. Robbo and Lucho are certainly have been more of the first team selection choices. That's why they have this grouping.
Yeah, you want Robbo in a big game, don't you? And the big game's coming up. Southampton, maybe Simicast could play, but big games, I think that's where we want Robbo.
Okay. Let me see what people in the chat are saying. Bernie's saying Robbo and Lucho, or is her choice if she had to pick between these. Again, this is just between these two pairings, obviously. Callum saying Diaz has changed his game well this season. That he has. So he went with Robbo and Diaz. With us waiting forever for a fit Chiesa slot has to. Oh, that's something else. Robbo, okay, he's saying Trap Joe is saying what you're saying basically is Robbo and Cody together would be the more preferred choice. Hey, you know what? And what's pretty wild about that too is that you could make an argument for even Simicast and Lucho together too. To be honest with you.
Well, just to be fair to Halor, it's to do with yesterday. He was showing that basically when Slot picked, in terms of the minutes that they played together, it's basically Robbo and Diaz played 90% of their minutes together, and Simi and Gakpo. So he's basically saying that his stats were showing up that Slot, he either picks the Gakpo and Simi pairing or he picks Robbo and Diaz. So basically 90% of the time it's either or. He doesn't mix them. I think he's saying like they've only actually mixed the pairing something like 5% of the time or something like that. So it's always been either Simi and Gakpo or Robbo and Diaz. I can't remember his exact numbers, but it was. I'm sure he put him back up. He put him in there yesterday. It was interesting stat. It was very interesting.
Okay. I think too it has to do with and this is my personal opinion, but I think also it has to do with obviously the coach sees them in training, but also the relationship that they create in training when they're doing the inter squad style scrimmages and the like. Players create certain bonds and relationships with each other on the pitch, and I mean, it probably is a case where Simicast does probably when they're going, toe to toe, he probably does go against or get to play with Simicast as his left back.
It's a little bit A team, B team.
Yeah.
It's a tiny bit but that's what I was saying. I think Simi is kind of on that borderline now. Or Simi could be the A team.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
Start of the season, you would have said, Simi or Diaz and Robbo. That's your A team. Gakpo and Simi. That's definitely your B team. But even Gakpo now, this is what it's good to see, though. It's good to see people pushing now and going, well, maybe we do have two players for this position. It's not straightforward. He's going to play.
Yeah, I remember one time. This was during the Klopp era. Lucho was playing left back, and we had Simicast in at left wing. I remember that one time. He eventually got him subbed out, but
Yeah. Yeah, he did a lot of weird things like that.
Did a lot of, yeah.
Like,
He played a lot of different positions on the pitch for us. Definitely. Okay. I didn't see the comment, Red Armchair supporter. Horses for courses. Yes, definitely horses for courses. But yeah, that's just one of those cases where like it's interesting. It's an interesting problem that we have and what I mean by interesting, and that is it even really a problem? It's more so it's a blessing in a sense to have the ability to have these kinds of players that are so interchangeable and also work well with each other and definitely work well. The components of them work well with each other.
Do you think we underestimate people? Like, because if you put 22 people in a room, they're not all going to like each other. It's just not possible.
Right.
So I don't mean you want to hate people. It's just some people are going to be into PlayStation. You're going to be into golf or whatever it might be. But you won't clash or whatever. But like we all worked. I'm sure we've all worked in places where there's more than 10 or 15 other people there. Maybe people worked with thousands of other people. And you can't possibly, and sometimes you end up in an office with somebody that you really don't like them, but it's your job to get along with them. Like you have to be mature and go in. You can't just go, oh, sorry, no, I'm not doing my job because I don't like that guy. It's different if he's, back in the day kind of stuff, like they did some bad things to each other. But, I'm not saying they don't all get along, but sometimes like we underestimate like that there are players out there, like there's famous examples of guys who wouldn't go for a drink with each other off the pitch, but they could rip it up. For 90 minutes they play brilliantly together. It's sometimes we underestimate that also is there. Like the players have the maturity to be able to deal with that and play with it. You might not get along with him, may not be your favorite person, but you're not going to let that affect your game. You're going to pass him the ball or he's going to cross to you when it's right, and they can be maybe even some of that energy can be effective to drive you on to kind of even play better than that guy.
Right.
Sometimes that little frisson, of energy kind of helps sometimes,
Yeah. I can't agree more. I know that's something that I get sometimes pushback against in my perspectives, but I honestly do believe that there are certain intangibles in team chemistry that is even deeper than just sometimes the play on the pitch. It's just like you said, if you enjoy going to work, chances are your results and the things that you do at work are probably going to be that more efficient, that more of a higher level. I can't stress enough about how I get it. We're only seeing what the PR team lets us see. Even if you do watch the insider takes, or even if you do get to eventually see what will be I don't know if Amazon bought it or not, but that behind the scenes documentary that they do for these teams, it'll be segmented, cut pieces that that are meant to create whatever the little bits of hints of drama in the likes. But
yeah,
I think one thing that you can certainly see, and it's what I at least look at it as, is like you can tell someone's energy. You can tell how players or people, because that's what they are. They're players. I get it, but they are people too, and you can see that they have a real common affection for each other, in that they appreciate each other. Yeah,
like you say, that people forget that they're not players first; they're people first.
Yeah.
First and foremost, they're people, and then eventually they become footballers.
Right.
Yeah, it's. I don't mind. Like I'm saying, I don't. These days, you don't like. People are. The atmosphere in dressing rooms probably isn't as, or definitely isn't as aggressive as it used to be.
Yeah.
The workplace isn't like that. But sometimes you do need a bit of that energy to inspire on as well. You need not like but at least a nice hard competitive edge.
Right.
Because the manager will tell you I'm not going to get past you in work if I think oh, you're brilliant. Everything you do is great. I'm happy to watch you do your work, and if you need me, I'll be here. Kind of thing. No, you have to go in and go, well, look, you're my mate and all that, but it's my job to do better than you and take your place in the team. At the end of the day, that's what we're all here for, and that benefits at the end of the day, the club results.
Yeah.
And you harness that, you get it well. Like this weekend for us now, all of these boys should be there looking at a couple of things. This is the pathway we're on, and also that a couple of people have broken into this team. This isn't a closed shop team. So, I think we've had like Jones and Simi now come into the team, and results are improving, and we're beating everybody. The mood in the camp has got to be pretty good, but then you've also got a player like Dom going, damn, I want my place back in this team. So no, hang on a minute, what's happening here? Hey, no, I want my place back.
Yeah.
Jones, well done and all that, but so that's good. What's he going to do? Sit there and moan? No, he's going to work harder in training, show it in training, get back in the team. Same with Robbo. He's like, this Simi guy, he's getting a bit too close to being the main guy here. I'm going to make sure, I get back.
Oh, no, yeah.
That's so good. That's really good. Like, it's not bad. It's really, really good competitive energy.
No, absolutely. I think that competitive energy is what has inspired Darwin to the levels that we're seeing with Darwin. And again, those sliding doors that we speak about often are what we're seeing, people react to, or these players react to. And, I know that I'm sure you've seen, and this is a good example, at least. You've seen on the sideline, when they're when they go on the sideline, they're warming up and the likes. You've seen. I remember the one time when I think it was Cody that scored, but Darwin and Robbo were on the sideline, right? And they showed the reaction of seeing the goals get scored. And it seemed like there couldn't have been, it almost looked like they were fans, the way that they reacted, to it all. And it's like, that is what you need. You need the supportive layer that, yes, you want to fight for it, but yes, you want to root on the players that are your brothers in this struggle.
That was one of the main features of Jurgen Klopp, wasn't it? That created such a good squad atmosphere, and made seen to it that like his squad bonded together, and he really didn't they, under Klopp? You could see it, they were all there for each other, and it's still there.
Yeah,
and it's still there for Arnie to take over.
You need an arse kicker as well, don't you? You need an arse kicker. Like every manager needs a player that will take another player to one side and give him a kick up the arse when he's not doing what he should be doing, so that the manager doesn't have to do it, kind of thing. In front of everybody, you need a player that intuitively knows.
Sometimes with Milner were those guys when we had.
No, Virgil. I'd say it's Virgil is the guy. He's the captain. He's going to be the guy to call someone aside and go, You're going to be getting a word from the boss if you don't do this, you don't do that, or even in the other way, it would be, listen, I know you're not in the team, but the boss has been very impressed with you. Just a little either way, so it doesn't have to.
I have an honest question, real quick, and tell us in the chat. This is not to raise any, but do you think that Trent is that person too? Do you think that Trent has that?
To the younger kids, I think he would be.
Okay.
I think Virgil might be the guy that might say to a senior pro, maybe, Trent would have probably that better connection with the younger kids. So
I think Mo has it. I think Mo has
it.
Well, if you asked for Trent,
Mo and Ali, Mo, Ali, and certainly Robbo. I think Robertson, and that's the reason why I think Robertson's so important to this team. Is that I think Robbo is the one guy that he'll laugh with you, he'll joke, he can be the jokester in the locker room. You can have fun with them, and you can enjoy his antics. But he can also be the person to get in your face and say, "Demand more." I
would think it also just going. I think what I was saying, like about with Virgil might be the guy with the seniors, and Trent, he's obviously, like we say, young enough scouser, but it also goes with being vice captain and captain probably.
Yeah, no,
it'd
I
probably
get that.
be
I get that.
that's probably what I think. But like, I wouldn't mind Virgil taking to one side or whatever, just having a word in the ear. But I'd say Trent would be, if you're a young kid, he's the guy that can go and talk to them because he's coming up. You're coming up through the academy. That's what he's done. He can say, look, this is how it was when I was there. But any of the guys, I mean, like you said, Robbo, I'm sure Henderson and Milner back in the day. And then someone that can talk to the foreign lads. Yeah, like you're saying, Ali can say, like, to Nunez or Diaz, he can probably communicate better with them.
I think McAllister is one of those
like
players too.
Matt's been in England a few years. He can probably speak good English as well and communicate your way. Full of leaders. Totally need them.
I think the one thing that Klopp did with this team, or even more Klopp, and also the backroom staff that puts this team that obviously puts the team together with their analytics and the likes. One of the unique things that we have to appreciate is it's something that we spoke on when Klopp was here, is that when I remember especially when Hendo and Milner were about to leave the team, like still, and the question was who becomes the next captain. I always knew that was going to be Virgil. Virgil was my captain, even during that last year of Hendo.
Any other shout was there? Really?
Yeah.
And him. He was a straight.
I've always
there were people
I mean, in
there
reality,
were people that questioned Virgil's ability to be the captain and the likes. And I was like, it made no sense to me, especially when he is the captain of his national team as well. So it's not like he doesn't have the ability to be captain. And also, especially since he was the third choice, even when Milner and Hendo were available.
He was the captain. Yeah. He was, I'd say for 90%. Yeah, there's always these contrarians out there, but he captained every club he ever played for, I think.
Yeah.
He captained Celtic, he captained Southampton, he captained probably, maybe before he left. Yeah, maybe not in Holland, maybe not in Groningen, but he's pure captain. If ever there was a captain in your team, it was Virgil van Dijk.
Mm-hmm.
No, there was, and that's the thing that I was just getting into, was about if you looked at this team, you saw captain of Hungary, you saw captain of Holland, you see captain of Scotland, you see all these different captain of Japan, you see all these different players that are captains on national teams. Yeah. I would make maybe an argument that McAllister, who was the captain for Brighton, former captain for Brighton when he was with Brighton, if it wasn't for Messi, I think he probably would be the captain of Argentina, to be honest with you.
I think he was in one game I saw about a year ago. Messi wasn't playing. I'm pretty sure he was captain.
So, it's one of those cases where you have so many notable players that are leaders in their own rights.
Did you mention
Salah? Exactly. Egypt. Exactly. Yep. I think Ibu, I think, even wore the captain's band, I think, once for France, I want to say. I think he's even worn the captain's band.
Oh, you might be right. Yeah,
when I was a kid, centre halves used to be centre back a lot. Like when I first started supporting Liverpool, I suppose Souness was the captain. He was a midfielder, but before him it was Phil Thompson. Before him it was Emlyn Hughes. After Souness it was Alan Hansen. Then Hansen retired, and we had a load of it. Mark Wright was captain after Hansen sometimes, for a few years when he was in the team. But Barnes as well was captain in midfield. So we probably more centre halves though. Growing up for me, it was always centre halves more than midfielders that were captain.
That's my preferred position, if you can, for your captain to be either centre half or a DM.
Or DM, yeah. Right in the middle. No, but it fits for a centre half, doesn't it? Being right in the back, being able to see everything. You can see absolutely everything. You can see what the DM's up to too.
Less likely to get sent off. You're always going to be on the pitch. It's the perfect centre half or perfect captain for me. It's usually big, a Van Dijk type. or a Beckenbauer or something like that. But
Right.
Yeah, there was a
never a
thing
goalkeeper.
between
I don't like
Phil
goalkeepers.
Thompson and Souness. Phil Thompson and Souness. I think it was after Souness got the captaincy off Phil Thompson that he didn't get on afterwards from that point on. I think they got on all right before that, but he moved anyway. He moved dead soon after Phil Thompson, after Souness got the captaincy. But when he returned, when Souness was around, he didn't get on together.
It was Tommy Smith and Emlyn Hughes had a huge falling out.
Yeah, they didn't like each other ever, and
They
they were like,
hated.
yeah, they were a brilliant defensive pair when they
Yeah.
played together. Like, but yeah, they hated each other, Hughes and Smith.
Yeah, Hughes. They took the captaincy off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've watched loads of
yeah.
goals where Tommy Smith scores a belter with his left foot unexpectedly, and like they'll all run up like, oh, and like you see Hughes' reaction, and he runs up and congratulates him, but it looks half-hearted. You're like, yeah, there's something there. You can see that.
But I don't know, what do you think? Do you like a captain or a goalkeeper as captain? Unless they're like a special type.
Not really, no. I prefer it to be an outfield player.
I do. So
I don't mind it.
And a centre half.
I've been the captain of the team before. So
yeah, we've had Gerrard.
No, listen, they can't run up to the
Souness
referee. I mean, on a pro team in a game.
right.
I'm not saying you do. I just mean in your team. It's better. I think I like him being out on the pitch. That's the only drawback for the goalkeeper, is that he can't kind of talk to the ref if there's something
Gerrard
happening
was
up the other end
captain
of
as
the
an
pitch.
attacking midfielder, wasn't he? As well as when he then later became an exclusively defensive midfielder. But when he was under Rafa as captain, like he was playing in the 10 behind Torres. He was playing as a forward behind Torres.
I think Reina captain.
It depends. I think it depends too on the player, because I get that they can't run up to, and that's something I openly agree with. The goalies, if something happens on the other, on the other end of the pitch, he's not going to run up and start.
It's the only drawback. It's the only drawback.
But it also, but when you do have a player like Ali, or a player even like a notable player that comes to mind is Buffon, the goalkeeper.
Oh yeah.
Like as in,
that was my first caveat.
Someone or even Martinez, possibly even who was the captain for Villa yesterday. Like even for players that definitely command respect, or at least or possibly even the best player on the pitch. Best players on the pitch. Yeah.
No, that was just great. That was my first caveat, was that unless they're an exception, if they're an exceptional player, it's different. Like a Buffon or an Ali Khan, totally. But just the only other, like a Pickford. Imagine Pickford being your captain.
Oh. Shouty
guys.
I mean, look, Lloris for Spurs was the captain for France, and he was the captain for obviously for Spurs for quite some time.
Yeah.
You would assume that if Trent stays, the captaincy will be his when Virgil's career is over.
100%.
Phil Neal captains us at right back. Like Phil Neal's been a right back captain for us when Souness left as captain.
Oh, he wasn't he? Oh, hold on, wasn't he before Lee?
He was there with Souness, but when Souness left, he was still here for 2 seasons.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
One, 84, 85, the high school season, and the next season he hardly played, and that got it off, and Steve Nichols took over.
Yeah.
He was captain at high school, Phil Neal.
It's still on the tier. It's on the tier for me. It goes centre half DM.
Straight
DM. Then like exceptional player. I don't like a fullback. I don't like a fullback as a captain either. I don't like a right back.
There's one for you, Gary Neville.
Yeah, he was. He was, wasn't he? When old Pino left,
Wingers. Captains. Wingers.
Wingers.
No, I don't like forwards and wingers as captains. It's weird. It's
Yeah. Weird people like Giggs and Stanley Matthews and whatever.
Yeah.
Like, wingers.
I mean,
they're never captains. Strikers are very rarely captains as well.
Oh.
Very rarely captain.
I
someone
mean,
like Alan Shearer or maybe something
yeah,
like
he's
that.
the obvious one. Yeah,
Mhm.
Eddie Sheringham was a captain. Yeah, Fowler was captain for us.
The English do it. Yeah, the English will do it. Gary
Yeah,
Lineker and all that. They'll love it.
Fowler.
The
Yes.
striker up
Yeah.
front.
Yeah, in terms of Henri for Arsenal and Vieira, yeah, and Vieira left, yeah. No, you're right, but I don't mind if you're gonna do like something like exceptional games, a one-off due to injuries or for one special occasion, then yeah, give it to them. I don't mind that the one-off, but yeah, not like as a full-time, no. But I
I mean, try
mean,
telling Ollie Kahn he's not going to be captain. Cool, just give it to him. I mean, okay, fine, dude. You know, some like that big force of nature personality
oh,
type
good,
people.
yeah,
Just
exactly.
make captain. Let him do it. He doesn't
Oh,
need to be near the ref. He can scream at him from 200 yards away and he'd still make his point.
yeah. Well, character he was, yeah. All come running out, and yeah, it's true.
You don't have to be captain of a team to exhibit captain-like qualities, just getting round the pitch and putting your foot in sometimes and getting the crowd moving.
That's exactly what 12 Man was saying. For the last 18 months before he was made captain, Virgil was captain and everybody knew it. Because we all knew he was the main guy on the pitch. Hendo may have been captain, it may have been on, but everybody knew Virgil was the captain.
See him organising things, couldn't you?
I think it's because of the level that he was at. I mean, he was one of the best players on the team, and also he was, he was.
I remember we were having conversations about it, and we were saying he doesn't need the armband to be captain because he is on the pitch. He's running the show. The armband will only be the thing. Everybody could tell watching it he was the main man. He just had that aura about him. Like, who else were you going to say? Yeah, Henderson, great, but you're out the door in 5 minutes. So just give him the bloody armband and get on with it.
It's sort of like Hendo was captain because of his enthusiasm, wasn't it? Like that was Hendo in a way, his enthusiasm.
And it's hard to sack a captain as well, isn't it? It's hard to take an armband off a captain.
Yeah, I mean, look what we did when Hippie was our main captain, and all of a sudden, well, maybe Cavier, and then we took it off him and gave it to Stevie G. But
yeah, he was quite quiet, Sammy, wasn't he? He wasn't very loud player, like very quiet bloke, but he was a decent captain.
I thought he was a good captain, Sammy Hippie.
Yeah, exactly. I liked him. I think he wasn't the Carragher type, but he did have a bit about him in terms of leading by example, and he did have talks, but in a different kind of way, Sammy. But old Stevie J and
He
said,
went to Leverkusen, didn't he, Sammy? That's where he went to be manager, wasn't it?
When he went and played there, that's where he went when he left Liverpool. He went and played 3-4 seasons there.
Yeah, then he was the manager, wasn't he?
They made him captain
correctly. There. Yeah. Didn't go well for him in the managerial stakes, though.
Do you remember he was at Brighton? Do you remember when Hippie went to Brighton?
No, don't remember that.
Yes, I do actually, funny enough. Briefly.
What, on holiday, like? For the seaside, like, jaunt? Or like to play for them?
It was Brighton, wasn't it? Or am I going mad again? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he had the Brighton job for a little while.
Oh, man, I can't remember. When they were in the Championship, like, yeah.
Back a while, yeah.
Quick question before we get too sidetracked. Quick question.
Before
Callum had a question for the panel, real quick, and we can go through this, and then let's jump into the ratings. So because we're at the top of the hour, little over the top, little past the top of the hour, for the show. So the question was, what's your 11 when everyone's fit and firing? So if you had every player fit and every player in form, who do you put together as your starting 11?
Quite simple for me.
Go ahead, then Lee, you can start.
Okay. Alisson, Trent, Canate, Virgil, Robbo, Gravenberch, McAllister. Oh, it isn't simple, actually. I'll say Jones, and then up front it's Shota, Salah, and Gakpo on current form.
Okay.
Yeah,
How about
Lucho and
for
Dom
you?
losing out on current form, even though Lucho got a hat trick, mate. Oh, that's harsh of me, that, isn't it?
Okay.
No, but
Okay.
you can't take current form into it. They're all fit and firing. So if everybody's
They're
fit
all
and
fit
in,
and fine. Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
question.
They're
You see.
all. This is not. Yeah. This is
Mm.
not like a case where like
Okay, at their
someone's not
best, at
playing
their
well,
maximum,
or you're trying, or
Lucho
you're.
and Modi at their
Yeah. You're not
maximum,
measuring them on what form they're on
and Dom at his
currently.
maximum with Curtis. Okay, then I'll go back on that and include Diaz and Szoboszlai. They're just playing at a much higher level than they are currently.
Okay. Brian, I'm showing Callum's choices too, by the way. Those are his choices. But go ahead. What is it for you? In the chat, if you want to include yours, that'd be interesting too. I'll share yours as well.
Yeah. Okay. I was reading Callum's line up there. I would go Ali. I would go left or right. Robbo, BBD, Ibu, Trent, Grav, Mac. Dom. Just about that one is a tough one. The other one that's tough is that Diaz or Gakpo. That's a horrible, because both of them fit and firing are pretty much almost on a par
It's
for
the
me.
Dom of his first few months. It's the Dom we saw when he first arrived. It's that Dom.
Okay.
I don't know the other one then as well. That's horrible. I don't know, man. I can't pick between. Okay, so yeah, I'll go Diaz, Jota, Salah, Dom, Maka, Gravenberg. So yeah, from back to front then. So Grav, Dom, McAllister, Diaz, Jota, Salah. But yeah, horrible choices in that. Very difficult choices.
Right. How about for you, Nolante?
Yeah, same back four and goalkeeper as the boys said. The midfield, oof. Grav Mac, the number 10. God. Elliot, Diaz, Jota, Salah.
Okay.
Uh,
All right. I would say my lineup would be the obvious Robbo, Verge, Ibu, Trent in the back four, Ali in goal. I would go with the pivot of. I would truthfully. We haven't seen this option, but I would truthfully go
I know.
I would go with the pivot of. I'm sorry, getting text messages on my phone here. That's distracting me. I would go with the pivot of Dom and Grava and put Maka in the 10 if I could. But if not, I'll go with what we've seen. I'll stick with Maka, Grava, and I would still have Dom in the 10. And then I would have Lucho on the left. I'd have Salah on the right, and I would have Darwin as my point 9.
pretty much what most people said, unless they said what I said, which was Jota. So we pretty much picked the same team other than Jota and Nunes. A couple of shouts for Elliot in the 10, which is interesting. And yeah, but pretty much everyone went the same back four.
It's
Max,
a definition of fit and firing is those players at their absolute
their best,
maximum, not on their current form. Then
No,
Dom
yeah.
and Lucho would just about get in, I think. because at first I wasn't going to include them. I was going to say like, oh, at the moment I'd include Cozy and Jones, but those players at their absolute maximum, I'd pick Lucho and Dom if they were playing their absolute best.
I think Max went with Kelleher in goal, and he was the only person who went with Kelleher in goal. But at least one. You got one shout. So.
Yeah, you got Kelleher got a shout. Certainly, definitely got a shout. Let's be honest. Come on, it is tough to see. It is tough to have to put Kelleher on the bench considering his exceptional play. But let's be honest, Ali is still the best goalkeeper in the world. It's very difficult to say you're gonna have the best goalkeeper in the world sitting on your bench. So not easy at all. But you said all firing. That's our answer. So that's the answers from us.
Tell you one thing: when Diogo Jota does come back, I'm going to watch him really closely. What I mean by that is, like, you know, for him getting injuries, for him getting clobbers, I want to take a good look at him when he's back.
An anvil dropping on his head from a great height. Running into a bridge.
Too long before another well-made centre half balls on him again, like onto his rib cage. So yeah, I will be looking out for that in the future. I'm going to be watching his every move when he comes back.
Okay. Let's get into these ratings. Before we get too far past and too far gone, and not going to have looking to not have a 4-hour segment today. YouTube does not like live streams.
There's not a lot for us to be negative about, is there? What a couple of the only negatives have been a few injuries we've had. Apart from that, it's a cloudless sky in it for us come this international break. So I think the only rain cloud for me was Aaron the Pep might re-sign for City. So I hope that was a load of bollocks.
I'm not fast, to be honest. I'm not fussed about Pep re-signing. To be honest, let him re-sign. Don't really. At this point, I don't really care.
I want him gone. I don't want him here next season. Because if he does stay, he'll spend, won't he? You know, he'll spend if he stays.
True, but I'll say
you have to spend a lot of money to get out of League Two.
Let him spend. We'll go again.
Yeah.
Mateus Nunes still won't be able to get a game down there. You'll be like, I'm ready, boss. I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Yeah, but it's
he's waiting to see if we get a points deduction for next season, before he signs anything.
Yeah, he's waiting to see if he's got diplomatic immunity. Yeah, come on, let's go. Let's go.
Let's do this.
Rating the show.
All right, so let's get into this ratings because we've already done the review. Let's get into it. Spoke of Kelleher. I would definitely like to start off with Kelleher as the first on this list because I thought Kelleher he only had 2 saves to make, but the 2 saves that he did make were absolutely huge saves to make. Could have been definitely different settings. We could be looking at a 2-2 draw as opposed to a 2-0 win. So very, very big saves as well. What was your rating for Kelleher, people? And what was your rating for Kelleher Nolante?
Old Kells, Brian's countryman. Yeah, I thought he had another decent game, just as a reiterate, and as you gave me my analysis of the match. 1 or 2 moments, again, he nearly could have cost us a goal. And there's another time in the second half at the cross, he wasn't confident, and that nearly created some confusion. So he needs to be a bit more, what's the word? He needs to be a bit more, oh God, I'm looking for the word. Commanding, that's it. Commanding in the box at times with the crosses because it could have cost us. But apart from that, 2 wonderful, crucial Blank saves, you know. The goal, the chance from Rodgers, again, not really his fault. He's 1-on-1. He was clear and he put it wide. So, yeah, another solid game. Like I said, man, I mean, it makes me think if Alisson is ready during the break. I mean, really and truly, Kelleher has done well. I mean, he kind of deserves the whole bench, and I love Alisson, but we need to give the players that are informed. This is what the club's about. It's not about the name; it's about the club. And if Kelleher is informed, then he starts. So, all in all, clean sheets. I'll give him an 80.
Okay. The chat is definitely behind Kelleher with the ratings. So, Brian, the countryman, what are you rating him?
Oh yeah, I know everyone's gone very high, so it won't really matter what I say. He did, watching it back, kind of the life of a goalkeeper. That thing where he makes two great saves and then all of a sudden he nearly makes a mistake, which could have cost a goal. So it wasn't a perfect performance, but it doesn't big pressure game. So we'll go. The second one, I know if you want to be super nitpicking, the second one was basically hit straight at him, but it was good reactions. The first one was unbelievable, though. So 88 sounds about right.
Okay. Lee?
Give him 84.
Okay. 84. So I had a 93, an 85, a 90, and a 100 in the chat. Max is definitely getting. Okay, Max, I got you.
Big up, Max. Big up.
How we go with the?
I think Max has shares in him.
Yeah.
Stone cold shares, bro.
89. How about we got him at 89? That's fair. That's fair. Let's move on to our captain, my captain, your captain, Virgil van Dijk. What would you rate him, Brian?
Oh, big Verge. 80. 80.
Okay. 80. All right. Lee?
There were no major awful incidents. He got called into action quite a few times. I'll give him 80. Give him 80. Flat 80. Yeah.
Okay. And how about for you, Namante?
Yeah, one or two moments he's a bit hesitant at crosses, not the usual theory D, but apart from that, he did his thing. So I'll say 82.
Let's see. I'm waiting to see anything from the chat. No one just said anything yet. I'm sure it's also I think that's how you say it, right? I forgot my actually. Let's see, 80. Okay, you guys are not showing any love to Virgil for the fact that he did get a clean sheet.
80 is high. 80 is like.
I'm just saying because I'm not saying 80's not high, but I'm just saying also that Kelleher got a 90, 100, a 90. Like
not for me.
Yeah.
Not for me.
all the
never was
all
an
the like
100.
two saves. I was like, okay, all right, and they were two
Yeah.
great saves. That's why I was just wondering what was up. All right,
Big
that's
up,
cool.
Jimmy.
Big up Jimmy, by the way. Big up Jimmy. VVD got an 80 from Jimmy.
Yeah.
Hash
kept
gave
it
him a
neat and tidy.
78.
Keller just added a bit of spice. So everyone's like, oh, yeah, remember the spicy bit. So that's it.
Yeah, yeah.
People are weak like that. People are weak, shallow like that. Don't blame the people for being shallow. They like a bit of spice.
There you go.
They remember the
Hyler
flashy
gave,
saves.
Hyler, your ranking was a little late, but I got you, brother. 79 was for Kelleher from High Lord. So he was definitely measured in his rating. I think 78 is for Virgil from Hash, but I don't know if it's for Kelleher or not because it's in between those two Kelleher ratings. But good. Sorry about that. I was just about to sneeze. But sometimes when you think about a sneeze, it goes away. So anyway. All right. So let's give him a 83. 83. All right. Verge. I did my best, Virgil. All right. How about for Ibu? Ibu. We'll start with Lee this time.
Yeah, he was solid enough. Because that one incident, wasn't there, with Watkins, where I didn't know it was. I thought it was a good tackle at first. Oh, go on, get in there. And then, like, you see it, and it did look a bit clumsy, but there was no way the ref was going to give that after not red card and for the Salah being hauled down before the goal. There's no way he was going to give a pen for that a few minutes, not long after that happening. I'll give him 78. Yeah, I'll give him 78 for a solid display. But he did get caught out a couple of times, and there was that thing with Watkins. He got it sorted, didn't he? And it weren't a pen, but it caused a bit of consternation, didn't it? And was like went over by the replay people on the telly loads of times. Wasn't it? Like he made sure he showed that about 16 times.
Okay, yeah. High Lord's dropping a little stat. 84. No player had more touches. 122. No, nor completed more passes. He was 109. Actually, 110 is the number I have, High Lord. I have 110 for 116 passes, Virgil van Dijk. Let me repeat that. He made 110 passes in the game yesterday. 80s. Jeez. 3 out of 5 for his ground duels, 1 out of 2 for his aerial duels. Kanate, Ibu, had 1 interception, 1 tackle, 4 clearances, 85 touches, was 93% for his passing for 69 out of 74. Had 1 key pass, 2 out of 4 for his long balls, 3 out of 3 for his ground duels, 2 out of 2 for his aerial duels. Lost the ball 6 times, but was fouled twice. And had a shot, but it was off target, and had 1 big chance missed, which was the shot that he had off target.
I would like to have seen the referee give a yellow card to Pau Torres for his bitching when he was saying he was fouled in the area because he took it too far. That ref should have shown a bigger pair of balls and carded him for that tomfoolery. That got on my tit, that did. When he kept appealing for the pen, Pau Torres. The ref should have stopped to that by yellow carding him and saying, get back in your own half. Stop that.
Big up to Ant, by the way, who's joining us. He has a little bit of a rant. He just walked in the door, took his jacket off, threw it to the ground,
Generations and expected better today, but yeah. It's not your guy. Yeah, it's true. You're right, and he's a wrong fit for you in the first place. But generations. I heard Man United were there for the taking, but they're just clinical. 3 shots, 3 goals. So
yeah,
I understand, man. I understand.
Unfortunately, the person that got you to the dance or brought you to the dance, left you at the door and decided to go with the other choice in his life. And you're stuck with Cooper, I guess.
Yeah, you literally ended up with the ugly chick.
Yeah.
He looks like he's had deep heat rubbed under his eyes, doesn't he? Because
He looks like he's been up for 4 days, mate. Come on. He looks like he's been on the biggest weekend of all time. He just
Come
looks
on,
like,
guys. Yeah.
yeah.
He's the next Liverpool coach.
I know.
I know
Yeah,
he's
he's a good
great.
guy.
He's a
He's a
great,
sound
great
guy. He
young
was
coach.
here and all that one. I seen him when he was here on LFC
He's
TV a lot.
won.
Yeah.
He's won an underage. It sounds right, but he's won an unders World Cup. He's actually like with under 18 England. I think he's won the World Cup with him, or he got them. Like he was a brilliant new coach, like really highly respected.
Don't
can you
tell
go
me
back
that this
to Liverpool?
brings Man United dangerously close to the top half of the table now. Please tell me that ain't so. They're not getting near the top 10, are they? The top half.
Yeah,
Kind of,
Well,
they are.
They were 13th before, so I imagine they've probably gone up a couple of places at least. Anyway.
yeah. Let me also say too. Hopefully, Luca didn't take that. He kept asking me, "Hey, you okay?" He asked that more than once.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I did reply to him, yes. Top of the league, my friend. So peachy keen, top of the leagues, I should say. So peachy keen for sure. But I hope that you're okay too. It's more so I'm worried about you and your fellow Gooners. That's all. I'm hoping that you guys are, because I know how your get-togethers can get, and they can be a little bit they could be a little bit
when
unbalanced.
Yeah. When a bunch of gooners get together, things can get messy. That's all.
They can get a little messy in there. They can definitely get a little messy. So I wanted to make sure that yes, you are safe, Luca. You're a friend of the show, so hope that you and yours well and definitely taken care of. Kanate got 82, dragged out of position at times, although they may have been more to do with his focus on detaining Ollie Watkins, but soon found order and dominance, particularly in aerial battles. I know. It's nearly 9 o'clock. Nearly 9 o'clock. Oh, I get it. It is nearly 9 o'clock. I get it. It's funny. Oh, wow. Ibu.
Yeah.
Let me say, big up to Ibu. I thought Ibu had a fantastic game. I thought Watkins should have gotten a dive warning, at least a warning for taking a dive on that challenge where they were shoulder to shoulder, and the bump from Ibu sent Watkins into like his
feet in the ground.
It went into like this whole, I think he looked like he was like entering another dimension. He was doing his Doctor Who moment for a second, like going through a portal or something. It was pretty wild.
The one thing about it is, because I know you might have missed because I was gone there for a minute. I didn't give Ibu a rating. If you're about to give him your final one,
no,
I'll just put in an 85.
Okay. 85. Okay. Bonkers got an 81 from Bonkers gave Kanate an 81. Excuse me. KJ got an 80. Gave him an 85. Big up, by the way, KJ, and big up to you, Bonkers, as well. And then is that the only other ratings we got? And then he got an 82 from Hylor. Okay.
I loved when he shoved that guy off the pitch. That was who was it? He just shoved him off the pitch. It was hilarious, and everyone told him to get up. He just like bodied this guy off the pitch. It was just, come on, and everybody's just get up. That physicality was,
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna put Ibu down as an 83 since we gave. I feel bad rating him some over Virgil. I think they have very similar numbers, but yeah. Let me repeat that. We're talking about a center half there yesterday. 110 passes completed. That's. That's not an average day at the job for just
Well, again,
for a center half.
hindsight.
110 passes.
Hindsight. Hey, he was an 80 for me. I think everything that Lee said kind of summed it up. So he's an 80 for me.
That's just wild, man. I mean, like 110 passes. He had like, I mean, even if you were to put in like some other players. Anyways, we move. Let's move on to Trent Alexander-Arnold. It's gonna be tough to rate Trent because Trent only played basically.
Can't really rate him. No, you can't rate him. 24 minutes. No, you can't.
Yeah, he
shit it right back. Can't defend.
Definitely is. I'll have him gone. He's going anyway. Good riddance.
It is too hard to rate him, isn't it?
Nah, you can't rate him. You can't. 24 minutes now. No, we move on.
Yeah. We're not gonna do the whole no Trent slander nor agendas here. We move. Good big up Hyler. He's telling us a little update for what James Pierce had to say on Trent. He's saying
Jimmy Pierce.
Up here. James Pierce said Trent is confident he does not face a lengthy spell on the sidelines after being forced off in Liverpool's 2-0 win over Villa at Anfield. I'm hoping
my fingers and toes are crossed.
I think it's more so what we saw even during, especially towards the end of the Klopp reign, which is, if you feel something, just go down. Just like, if you feel like a little, twinge or something like that, or if something doesn't feel right, don't.
Yeah, I'm hoping that's what it was, that it was just something minor and he thought, I'm not taking the risk. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then after the
I will give the Villa I forget who it was. Let me double check on who was that did it. Was it Ramsey? Was it Ramsey that did it? I think it might have been Jacob Ramsey that did it, but like double check and see. Yeah, it was Ramsey that did it. That was like he got injured, and then he got injured. You saw him grab his hamstring, and then he still made another effort.
Made a clearance.
Yeah, made the clearance on it.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely brilliant.
I hope that it's not a bad injury for him, and but that is very, very commendable to see that he didn't quit basically. That was.
I'm hoping it was just a minor thing, and he thought Real Madrid and Man City coming up. I'm not risking it. Yeah.
Well, speaking on Trent.
Yeah, just from a professional point of view, we want to play. And
when you sit down, though, Lee, it always worries me. When they sit down like that.
Yeah,
sit down immediately, and then the worst ones. Well, no, sorry, the worst ones are when they go off on a fucking stretcher, obviously. But sometimes the worst ones are when they're able to just walk off, and they look okay walking, and it looks, but they have that really sad look on their face.
Yeah.
It's the look on their face.
Playing for England, but I'm hoping he thought to himself, I'm not asked about England.
Do you know what I saw today about him? I saw he's had 3 in his last 4 for England. He's won the man of the match 3 times.
Yeah, he's been balling.
He's been playing international.
Like this is Carsley now. Southgate is gone, so he played a few of these games under Lee Carsley. And he's picking himself
in different roles, like played left back, played left back for them. He's played. So
he was probably enjoying, his time there, which is fine. That's cool, But he won't be going now. But Bradley for 1 or 2. Bradley for Southampton, we probably would have done that anyway. Cool, no problem. That definitely would have been the plan, or Joey Gomez, whatever. But it wouldn't have been Trent for Southampton. So, that you can chalk that one down. So.
Before hopefully you guys
we can rate Bradley, right, instead of rating Trent.
I have Bradley. I'm just going to bring him. I'll bring him in when we get to the substitutes. But what I was going to say is before I don't want to lose too many people because we are coming up on the 9 o'clock hour on a Sunday in the UK. or BST, I think it is, right? Isn't that the time zone?
Yeah.
So before we do, and before we lose too many people, and I want to see, because I see people are dropping ratings. I'll keep your rating for Bradley Bonkers. I'll start so that we can come back to it when we bring up Bradley. But I see Robbo got an 80 from Hash, got a 79 from Bonkers for Robbo. I see Jimmy gave Robbo an 80. KJ gave Robbo an 80. Before we officially allow for those scores to settle, let me just say, let me give a quick shout out. Let me give a quick shout out to my left back, Andrew Robertson. Let me say, he was locked in, committed to making a difference. Look, I am openly saying that he might not be a every game slotted in choice as left back for this team. But I will say, I said it before, rested and ready to go, eager to go, most likely. Robbo put in a well-performed game yesterday. There's been a lot of people out there. I'm looking at you, Barnes. There's been a lot of people out there that have been borderline slanderish, but certainly some respectful, but certainly borderline slanders with others that have been very critical of Robbo. He has had some bad games. Look, bad games happen to everyone, you know. He certainly has a high bar that he set for himself. He's very, very committed to trying to always bring his A game. I don't think you could ever question his commitment nor his intentions on the pitch of wanting to help this team, whether it's through leadership, whether it's through his play, whether it's through support and contributions. I get it. He is certainly now a player that's in his 30s, but let's be honest, Robbo is still an exceptional player. He had a good game yesterday, 3 clearances, 2 interceptions, 1 tackle, 97 touches, was 86% with his passing for 64 out of 74, made 2 key passes, 2 out of 4 for his crosses, 6 out of 2 for his long balls, created a big chance, by the way. Was 2 out of 3 for his ground duels. Lost ball 15 times, but was fouled once as well. Very committed. If you look at his heat map, it was very, very all up and down the left side of the pitch. I think that sometimes I see some people with the ratings, or not just the ratings, but some of the conversation that goes on for this guy. And, you know, I know some there can be some revisionists. There can also be some that just don't want to recognize the fact that he is an exceptional talent and has done an incredible service for this club. But I think that he's still got something left in the tank. And big up. That's just my say. So if you wanna, you know, tweak your ratings just a little bit to show some love for Robbo, that'd be appreciative. But if not, it's okay too. It's okay too. And with that, let's begin with Nalante. What would you like to say about Robbo and what's your rating for him?
Yeah, I echo.
No pressure. No pressure.
It's no pressure, tough. You know what I mean? Right, meet 12 now. But no, I kind of agree mostly with Robbo. I mean, look, at the end of the day, Simicast for me is our starter for now. But obviously, Robbo, you know, hasn't been great, but you know, rested or whatever you want to call it. He responded. He personally, I mean, I know we're gonna get to late. He was my man of the match. He was the Robbo of old, up and down. Bailey didn't get a sniff. His defensive duty, and he created chances which our forwards and midfield should be anticipating by his usual crosses in the box. So yeah, man, he done well for me, and I'll give him an 85.
Okay. Irishman.
Yeah, you said it all. I'll just give him an 85 along with Alante. I'll go with that too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know you. Yeah, he's got the eulogies. I'm gonna. You said everything needs to be said about him. He's
Okay.
not done at all. So, yeah,
I don't
stop
think
the
so.
slander. Stop the slander.
No, it's weird. It's weird to see. Lee.
75.
Okay. All right.
Ooh.
I know. Oh wow, Lee. Okay. All right. All right. All right. 75 from Lee. All right. Anyways, yes, I see the scores for Robbo in there. Let's see. 85. You get, what was your score again? You gave him 80 or 85, did you say, Irishman?
Me, 85.
Yeah, 85. Okay,
Yep, 85. Yeah, all right.
Okay.
Mike's a bit low. Yeah,
I saw the
85,
80s. We're just gonna pretend that Lee was rating him from
He
his
doesn't
previous.
exist.
Yeah.
Yeah, who's this Lee guy, and how did he get on the stream? With his
We're gonna rate.
crazy rating.
We're gonna take Lee's rating on a curve for this one. I'm gonna drop 85 for Robbo. I think that Robbo had an exceptional game yesterday. Just as you said, like there was on that right side, there wasn't anything that really got created. I understand some might say because they avoid the plague when Virgil is there, but I also know that they have been targeting the right side. A lot of teams have been targeting the right side lately, and I don't think that really they did much of anything on that right side. So.
And before we finish on the defense, like we didn't like Ollie Watkins was taken off after an hour.
Yep.
Did he get a sniff?
Yep, that's a great point. Great point. And again, that's why I think that Ibu had a very, very exceptional game. I think he had an exceptional game, considering that he was pretty much the one that was, having to take on Watkins, and I don't think Watkins got much of anything yesterday.
I think he got a header from one of those Dean crosses, I think, but it was a scrappy nothing kind of.
That was
really,
basically the story of Watkins' foul, attempted the drawing of a foul from Ibu. We knew he couldn't get past him, so we thought, I'll fling myself to the floor. That was the story of
that was
with Ibu on it in that one incident. That was it in a nutshell. He knew he couldn't beat him. He thought he'll throw himself.
Is funny about that one though, Lee. What I will say is like there's about 7 angles of that, right?
Yeah.
And there's only one of them that shows you that it's a total dive. Every other single one of them looks like Ibu. And he exaggerates it. But then there's one just from behind, and it's like he just goes flippity flop over the top.
I've seen the one you're talking about, the one that shows it's clearly an unequivocal.
Yeah, it's kind of from behind. It's weird. Normally from behind you can't see, but that's the one that shows it. He kind of contorts his body and just goes weep over it, like.
Yep. Feels felt the.
I mean, I only give 78 in me markings, so like I'd give Robbo 75. It wasn't like a flowing, imperious performance from us. We're not seeing much better performances from us in terms of being in control of the game. That's why I'm not going mental with me marks. There's plenty of room for improvement for me, and there'll be higher marks, I'm sure, after the break. But I want to keep it around a certain level after it was an efficient performance, which is great because you want to see that. You want to see efficiency, but it wasn't shout.
I get what you're saying, but you got to give JK. I don't want to say speak for JK, but I'm sure if JK was here, he probably would be lamenting on the fact that clean sheet.
Get Rasta Crab in. You want to get Rasta?
Oh, I would know. Crab.
the crab.
I've been hoping to get Crab
200.
on.
Get
Yeah, I've been
it.
hoping to get Ross on the channel for a
Welcome,
hot
Rob.
minute. He's always
Rob
a
Defense.
busy guy. He's got a family and the likes. But I mean, I understand.
Yeah, family schmamly. Come on, it's YouTube. It's Liverpool stuff. It's Robbo. Okay,
Yeah, I felt like the flow of the game wasn't quite there for us yesterday, and we made trouble for ourselves several times that nearly ended up in a goal if they'd have done better from what we gave them.
No,
'Cause we
I
had
get that.
few
I get that.
situations to them on a bloody plate.
But
Quite a
that's
few.
why. But that's especially why when hearing this, because look, I will openly. I put this in my notes too. Like I openly concede that this was a pretty balanced match, but there was two good teams. I know Villa was on a losing streak. I understand that they're in a very pivotal moment for them because they're trying to get back on the winning goal. And I think that Villa, again, I think it was maybe Brian that was speaking on it, but like the whole like wounded animal kind of concept, like as in, or it might not have been Brian. I think it might have been.
No, it was it. Beware the wounded animal. Exactly.
Yeah. Like, they're going to have their moment, they're going to figure it out at some point when you have a good team. It's one thing to go against a team that is on a losing streak just because they're a bad team. It's another thing to go against, a good team, though, that's just in a little bit of bad form. Eventually they will find it. And you don't want to be the team that they rekindle that, that.
Yeah,
that
Villa are a decent side, and that's why they're in the Champions League. You don't make it if you're not a decent side.
Yeah, no, and again,
they are the team that they are. With better forwards, we probably would. If we were up against better forwards, we probably would have been punished. I know we will be against City if we give away some of them chances that we handed to Villa. They'll end up in our net if we do that against City.
No, you're right. No, look, yesterday we had 4 big chances. They had 5 big chances. Okay. We obviously, I said the 2 saves that Keller had. They had 3 saves on their end, but they had 9 corner kicks. Towards the end of that game, they had a bunch of corner kicks when they were really pushing and
trying
more
than twice as many as we did.
But like why I'm saying and bringing out these notes is because I think it was maybe like a 55-45 style. Like if you're rating it, I wouldn't call it a 50-50 game, but I mean, like it was maybe if you're talking about momentum, it was like a 55-45, maybe even 60-40 type game.
Where did our goals come from? Villa corners.
From the corners, from counters from those corners.
Yeah.
That was one of the most
pleasing
aspects,
corners, so they were pushing.
Yeah.
That Mo, I think,
and our big chances. All 4 of those big chances, I think, came from basically.
That's obviously something pinpointed, wasn't it? That's how we beat them doing that, and it's exactly how we played out. Like twice we got them.
Right. Because you got to recognize the fact that the fact that you have teams like Villa, and this is again just a drawn perspective, teams like Villa and teams like even Arsenal, you're going to be able. They commit so much interest and commitment towards their set pieces, corners especially, that they are going to be open to if you can get a quick. If you do get control of it and you can get a quick release with a pass or something like that, you could possibly get a break for yourself from that because they are so committed, because they have their center halves and the likes. They're more defensive players that are trying to get the corners, trying to win the corners, committed so far forward. You'll be able to get maybe opening, and that's something that we got yesterday, and it ended up working out for us. But yeah, I just thought that if you're going to have players, our defense did well. They got the clean sheet, despite the fact that obviously, like I said, their XG, Villa's XG was 1.38. Our XG was 2.02, 2.02. So again, and the ball possession, though, different story. We had 62%. They had 38%. It doesn't, if you look at it that way, yeah, but the ball possession can also leave a little bit of a different perspective or different
context, people.
Yeah.
Context.
Yeah. How we get into for Maka, Brian? What was your rating for Maka?
Go quickly on him. Not a huge impact on the game, really. I think maybe a little bit leggy, maybe a bit tired. So kind of a standard 70, 72. Call it a 72.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get
60. That's a low one. That's a low one.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, like, look, there's been people very critical. I know we were a little bit critical of Maka because we know his levels. I don't know if he was a 60, but he certainly I wouldn't have put him in like the 80 range or something like that yesterday.
None of his trademark passing into the forwards. None of that yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Had one key pass, but like that was 92% for his passing. 2 out of 6 for his ground duels. Lost the ball 10 times. 2 tackles. Dribble pass twice. That's the whole maybe getting your reference of getting he had a little bit tired legs maybe. 3 out of 3 for his long balls. 76 touches. Was I noted when we were watching the game, I kept saying about how Maka wasn't as involved or wasn't the maestro that he normally is for us, that at least he wasn't the
he was quiet, wasn't he?
Yeah, exactly. That's the word for it.
It needs to be bent.
I think he needs a break too, Delante. I think it
he
would
does. He
benefit
really
him.
does. Yeah, he does.
Give him a couple of maybe this internet. Is he? I don't know. Do they have like fucking Peru and Bolivia or some shit like that over the week or something? Do they? I don't know. They probably do.
Yeah, they don't. They don't have any big games, but it doesn't really matter anyway. They're already qualified. That's what I'm saying. They're going to be qualified for the World Cup, so they don't really need to play him. Like for instance, the last international break was good. He only done 45. I think he didn't do the full 90. Even we took off at half time, which was great. But we'll see, man. But yeah, man, he just needs the rest. He's full. He just needs to improve, man.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
I think that'll do in the world
still
good.
playing though. They'll still play.
Yeah, they will. They will. I mean, they don't really need to.
And it's primarily because a lot of those international coaches, they don't get that many opportunities to get their teams together unless it's like they do get the camps. That's a different story. But when they have these little international breaks, you're getting these small segmented periods where they can get like a run with the team. They're going to probably utilize the time to try to get them on the same page. And
even though the flip side as well is even if the guy doesn't play, he still has to do all the freaking travel. He still travels 3,000 miles for fucking nothing.
Very true.
That's even worse because he plays bloody 10 minutes. He went halfway around the world twice. He plays 10 minutes in Japan or something. Come on, guys. That's probably just as bad. Okay, it's a 90-minute game. Probably would have done him, good to play a bit of football in 2 weeks. But it's worse when you see your boys going halfway around the world and they don't even get a game. Trent goes to the Euros. I think he was given 6 minutes in the Euros. Goes to a whole bloody competition, a whole tournament, like just to sit there and watch the thing. And the next guy comes in and guess what? He gets 3 man of the match awards out of 4. Gareth Southgate.
Yeah. What that was this I gave him a 70. What real quick, if everyone
70
said
for me,
that he's
70, yeah.
70. Lee, what was your rating for Maka? I just showed all the scores, Bonkers and Jimmy's and Hash's scores. Right.
68.
68. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Latte?
Same as Lee.
Okay. Let's stay with the 70 because there were some high 70s, 79, 78. So to keep it fair for the chat, I will keep him at a 70. Let's go with Grava. Wait, I am gonna have to get that sound. I eventually I think I might be moving away from StreamYard and utilizing OBS Studio, so we can get some sound effects and get my soundboard in here.
Let's go.
Gravy, yes. Survey says gravy.
Gravy.
What about Gravenberg? What was your rating for Ryan? Nolante, let's begin with you.
Yeah, gravy. Let's go on the gravy train. Choo choo. But he wasn't his most effective game, but he was decent enough. I thought one or two times again. Sometimes I get annoyed with McAllister and Jones. Sometimes defense he gets left a little bit isolated. At times in the midfield when attacking, he was a little bit sloppy. He was a bit simple with it in the first half. In the second half, he was more pushing, and then there was one I think he made a great one, the ball to Salah, which didn't come, I think. But yeah, he was solid. Wasn't his? He's had better games, but he wasn't worse. So 72.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I like to drop the stats in there. 77 touches. 50 out of 57 for his passing, 1 out of 1 for long balls. One shot off target it wasn't that good of a shot, but kind of got under it. That's why. And 3 out of 3 for his dribble attempts, 6 out of 9 for his ground duels. Lost the ball 7 times. Made 1 foul, but was fouled twice. Had 2 clearances, 2 blocked shots, 4 interceptions, 1 tackle, and dribble pass twice. Yeah, 77 touches. I said that too. Yeah. Not the gravy that we've seen in the beginning of the season, but certainly gravy all the same. Because there were a couple of times he did get the ball. I think that the interceptions stat that I just mentioned, it's something that he's got currently the lead in the Champions League for, for like, I think it was for defensive, like take-ons and for interceptions. I really like the fact that for a player that some people said doesn't play defense, can't play defense, he's a player that is starting to show the fact that his athletic ability allows for him to perform well as a defensive player for us or getting some defensive output from him. So, but I got 1 score, now 2 scores. Okay. Hustle Bones.
What's the what now?
He doesn't. He thinks that gravy is, or gravy is lazy. I don't see Grava being lazy.
Nah, hustle, man. Nah, I think you're wrong with that, buddy. That one we have to
I would
respectfully disagree.
I especially disagree on that one. But I mean, like, to each is their own. To each is their own. Definitely put in your rating for him, Hustle, and it'll definitely be counted. Okay, all right. 82 from Hylor, 75 from Jimmy, 83 from Hash, 75 from KJ. Okay. Irishman, what was your rating for Grava?
Yeah, I think sometimes you can see us quite very visibly in a 4-2-4, and the 4 in defense is incredibly deep. There's a big huge gap sometimes when you see us, and that too has a lot of work to do. And even though we've won, and we have won well in the last 3 games, there were times when Bayer Leverkusen, Brighton in particular in the Cup, and Villa just waltzed through our midfield. Now, that's fine because when you waltz through the midfield, there's a back four you're coming up against. And football, everything in football, if there was a perfect tactic, everybody would use it, and every game would end 0-0. So football is all about risk and reward. So right now in the last few games, that's when Gravenberch and McAllister are being bypassed a little bit by quick transitions from other teams. It's going from box to box quite quickly. We don't have that deep build-up that we did in previous games. So his role is probably adapting a little bit. But that's just me being hypercritical. I think Grav isn't, like we said at the start of the season, we were laughing about how he was getting man of the match every game. Ibu was making jokes about, when am I going to get man of the match? That hasn't happened in a while now.
Mhm.
So I think it's funny, it's weird. Like, you see these huge gaps in our midfield in these last few games. Now, I'm
Mhm.
sure it's by design. I'm sure that
Mhm.
is totally by design.
I
It's
think
just
it
if they
is.
get past
It is.
it. Oh no, it will be. It will, because if it wasn't, he'd be changing it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And it's like, okay, but I think it may make some of our players like Mac and Grav look a little bit less in the. Yeah, I think that stuff is getting too tactical for me, because I know it looks like it shouldn't be working, but it is. Like I say, football is risk and reward. But the one thing I will say though, yeah, Bones, man. I mean, yeah, you're. I think I know where you're going with this. So, yeah, just yeah. Anyway, keep it respectful. That's all I'll say. Yeah, I'm going to give him a 72, probably.
Okay. Okay. 72. Cool. And Lee, what was your score for him? For Grava?
I thought he was okay yesterday. He was the best of our midfielders. I give him 77.
77. Okay. That's legit. Um
It's not like the early season when he was man of the match every week. We have come up against more testing opposition, as Brian was saying. Those early months of the season, like Grabber showed a lot of gravitas and poise, didn't he? And potential, but it's looking a little bit different from game to game now as we play different types of sides and better sides. But he's still been a revelation, really, hasn't he, this season so far? And he's looked like somebody that we can trust to play that position. It's just getting it right around him, isn't it? Like getting everything right around him.
mhm. So I'm going to say, from the scores that I've seen in here, I'm going to bring it to an 80 for Grava, because there were some good scores for him. I personally had him at 80. I think that, like, there was one particular play that I did see Grava do that I really gave him even a extra point for, which was, there was one spot before Trent got taken out. There's a miscommunication between Ibu and Trent. They both went one way. They both went the same way, and they went towards the sideline. I don't know why. They both went towards the sideline. I'm trying to remember who the player was, but you do remember that. I'm sure you remember this, the actual play. And it opened up. It parted the seas, like the Red Sea, basically.
Oh yeah, that bit terrific.
Yeah, and fortunately for us, Grava hustled back, did a slide tackle, a slide block, and blocked the shot before put himself into harm's way, in essence, to like try to like put his body on the line there by sliding in and blocking the shot. Otherwise, that could have been possibly one of their best looks
Like
at goal.
two magnets on either side just pulled a hole in our team.
Yeah, it was weird. It just like
went way over to the right, and someone else was way over to the left, and it was just like huge gap. But it happens sometimes.
yeah,
Like
it was
Brian was
really
saying
weird.
about getting things right, and yeah, this does happen, and yeah, it's Premier League football against a big team, and so you're gonna concede chances sometimes. It looked a bit bad at times yesterday. I wasn't convinced by us yesterday, and I felt that if we were playing City in that match yesterday, we could have got punished.
Yeah.
That's the thing, though, Lee. We only have to play City twice a year.
Yeah, that's all we have to do.
Yeah.
Most of the rest of
Don't
the
worry
time,
about them
it
twice a
ain't
year.
going to be Cities. It's going to be
Yeah.
at best an Arsenal, or at worst, if whatever you want to look at it.
Actually,
Most
yeah,
of the rest of the
you're
times,
gonna want
it's
the
Wolves
best
and
bunch,
Brighton's.
yeah. A Villa dropped below Brighton now after something.
Oh, yeah, they're well below Brighton.
Yeah, but
Well
they've been
below.
one of the best of the bunch so far, haven't they? Like, they've started okay, haven't they?
Yep.
Plus, they got the bounce off reappearing in the Champions League. So, yeah, it's a big game, wasn't it? I just feel like sharper forwards would have punished us yesterday. That's all that worried me. But, you know, that's just nitpicking out of a really good situation, which is where we are at the moment.
No, and that's the whole point. Is if we just sat here and talked about all the good things, and we'd be sitting here giving everybody 10 out of 10, happy clappy, and everything was amazing. You know, you have to like play devil's advocate. You have to put up, you know, other points of view just to play it off against each other and say, well, this is where we are, but well, that could be better. This could be better. You know, the world of criticism. You know, it doesn't need to be. Criticism isn't negative all the time. You know, it's not. So we can talk about the things that went wrong without it having to be. I mean, hopefully in here we can talk about things that we did wrong without it being slander or hey. It's just like, yeah, he should have done better with this. He should have done better with that. It's not a comment on him as a person. It's just a comment on that exact period of play, that pass, that cross, whatever it might have been.
Yeah.
You know, we should be free to do that and feel happy to do that. And like, that's what the whole chat is here for. It's not about, you know, you go to other places and you can see that the chat is just waiting for a host to say something negative about a player, and then everyone piles in and go, yeah, that guy is shit, and they're just waiting for it. It's not like that here. That's not what we want to do. We want to be able to bring up the good and the bad, and then, you know, hash it out and come to an honest conclusion.
He did have very little time with the players, didn't he? Slot before the season started, you know, because of the tournaments that had happened. He didn't have a lot of time, did he, before the season started?
Yeah.
So,
speaking of someone,
early season problems.
Speaking of someone that has been the target of some criticism here and there, is this young man who, again, he's a new father, and is someone since the birth of his daughter has seen a tremendous bounce in his performances on the pitch, and that's Curtis Jones. And what would you think of Curtis Jones' performance yesterday? What was your rating for Curtis? I'll let the Scouser in the panel speak on the Scouser on our team here.
Yeah, I thought Curtis was good. Before he went off, he was having a good game. He was involved. He set Darwin away, didn't he, for that chance for the second. Yeah, I thought he had a good game, Curtis. So I'll give him give Grava 77. I'll give Ryan Curtis I'll give him 79 because it's Curtis and he's a Scouser.
Okay.
I do like Curtis. I'm a fan of Curtis, and I think he had a good game. Yeah, before he got hauled off. So give him 79, Curtis.
Nolante, Curtis.
Yeah, listen, look, I think Curtis Dom has to, for me personally, Dom has to just hold bench from the now on, unless we're rotating. Curtis is the man of the form with the shirt in form. I said before the game, even if he had a bad game yesterday, just let him give him the opportunity to run games. What I would like potentially, but I don't think Slot would do it. Maybe to swap Curtis and Mac around the 10 and see how that plays out. Because I think one thing I'm seeing with Curtis, the last two, he's kind of learning not to hog the ball a bit. He's learning just to kind of release it a little bit more. And
Slot mentioned that. You did
Yeah.
nice.
And there's one point, I think who was it? Was it Ramsey and someone? He was too deep and he managed to twist and turn and get past and then keep them all booing. So very impressive from Case. Just keep it up. One thing he'll have to learn is just be his positional awareness in terms of defending. I think he needs to be a little bit better of that because he just sometimes gets a bit out of position in terms of defensive sense. But apart from that, man, long may it continue. And yeah, man. I'm just surprised he was come off. He was playing well. I was a bit disappointed with Slot for that, but again, this is just our opinion. So for me, 80 for Curtis. Well played.
Okay. Brian, Curtis, for you. Cujo?
Yeah, I'd agree with what everyone said, so I won't go into it. But he did get hooked a bit early.
65th
So
minute. Yeah, 65th minute. Yep.
Yeah, just on the minute, like if he kept going, it would have been higher, definitely. But just because on the minutes thing, I'd just drop it to like a 75. But he was
Okay.
on for an 85, with 80, but just with the early hook, I'll just drop it down a bit.
Mm-hmm. I think what they're doing too with Curtis and Dom at the very moment is you're going to see Dom start some games, Curtis start some games, but you're probably going to see both of them in the games type situation where one will go 65 minutes and then rotate out for the other player type situation possibly. And I'm glad to see Curtis is making a home for himself at that 10, by the way. It's good to see.
Yeah, the things that he can improve on can all be coached. He's not deficient in any area like, speed, technique, game intelligence. He's got all these things. His physicality as well. Like, he's a good physical specimen. Like, when he's fit, he can run all bloody day, Curtis. And that's what we need in midfield.
Mm-hmm. Some varied numbers in the chat. 60 from Hash, 72 from Hylor, 78 from Jimmy, and an 80 from KJ. And the panel was a little bit varied as well. I originally had him at 74. I think that's pretty much in the middle of where everyone kind of had his ratings, I think that's fair.
Yeah, I think if Slot can coach him right and he can be fit all the time, he can be a massive player under Slot for us, Curtis.
Yeah.
And I really hope he is.
Yeah.
I really hope he is. I don't want to see any of them lucky injuries, obviously, anymore for him, because that's what set him back. A few of them, like that daft eye one that kept him out forever and a day. If we see the back of that type of stuff and he's constantly available, he will be a huge player for Slot. I'm convinced of it.
Yeah, very true. This next player is someone that had an exceptional game previously, but in this game only had one shot really. It was off target, but only was not involved. I know he played a full 90, which was again kind of surprising. I know that even myself, I know Nolante was calling for it, but even myself was prepared for Curtis. That's because he's still in front of us here. I was prepared for Cody to be subbed in for Lucho if we were going to, because I thought Darwin was having a good game. It made sense. This is why I think that why we're bringing up the fact of why the substitutions didn't really connect with some of us. But this coach, like many coaches, really do appreciate Lucho and his work rate. And there was a couple of occurrences where you got to recognize why that's the case, because he did hustle back and help out, created 3 key passes. 3 key passes, did not have that many passes though. Was 24 to 32 for his passing and only got 50 touches considered all things considered. And again, he had a shot off target. Was 3 out of 5 for his dribble attempts. 7 out of 16 though. Let me repeat that. This is not a central half. This is not a this isn't a DM. Lucho was involved in 16 duels, albeit he didn't win. He won just under 50% of them, but still was involved in 16 duels. That's a lot of duels especially for a left wing, if not for at times a false 9. which is what he ended up converting towards the second half. But again, 1 out of 3 for Liverpool, 7 out of 16. 7 out of 16 for Brown. Fouled 3 times, committed 3 fouls, but was fouled 3 times. Had lost the ball 15 times, had 1 clearance, 1 tackle, dribble pass once, but and had 1 error that led to a shot. So I keep it real. I try to say all the stats, even if they're good or bad.
Well, I'd like to think so. Otherwise, it's just propaganda.
There you go.
If you're giving away his good
some of
stuff.
the stats are kind of like some of the stats, unnecessary stats that don't need to be like you said.
Yeah, no. But I'm saying it's like you gotta. They're just a tool, you know. You gotta use them to help you along. Look, we watched the game. He wasn't having a good one. And I think it's sometimes as football fans, you're like, look, he's not playing well. We need to make a change, so take him off. Whereas the manager looked at it and goes, he's not playing well. I need to move him. You know, we didn't see that coming. You know, we all thought it was going to be the other way, but the manager goes, no, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to get him in the middle. So, but I didn't. Yeah, I thought he was having a poor enough game. So, does all the Lucho stuff. Like for even by his standards, I don't know. What are people saying? Not what people saying, but yeah, I'd probably go with 70, 73.
Okay. 73. Lee?
Yeah, I've been quite critical of him lately. The Arsenal game was probably the worst game I've ever seen him out for us. He didn't have to get on me tit in that Arsenal game, the fouling with Partey every single time. But anyway, he was not very good again yesterday. I mean, the Leverkusen hat-trick notwithstanding, his performances have been pretty bad lately. He's causing problems for defences running at them, but there hasn't been a lot of end product aside from his.
Don't use those words, Lee. Don't use the don't say end product. Don't say end product.
Yeah, we've had the hat-trick, but yeah, the amount of times he goes on a bloody run and what happens.
Call the emergency services. I'm going to send everyone to 12 man's help.
He's annoyed. He's annoyed.
Exactly.
Anyway,
You don't want to do it. I'm going to tell you, Lee.
We need everything. We need everything out here.
I'll tell you what it was. What caught my eye initially was his performance against Arsenal when every single time he allowed Partey to draw the foul out. And then the final one resulted in them going 2-1 up from the very foul he gave away on Partey. Arsenal's second goal came from that, and I was well pissed off with him. And he has been a bit shit lately. So I'm going to give him like 65. Yeah, you can have a 65, Lucho.
Sounds like you might be rating the player for his past grievances more so than his current performance.
I just felt like giving someone out and giving someone a really bad rating, so I'm giving it to Lucho. You can have it.
Okay, all right. We're reminded that that Chris I might have to hit up Chris to get a Sicario out if you go too far. This so you know.
Chris will agree with me that they'll be going.
Yeah, the action and all that, like, but his recent performances haven't been great. Sure. And I'm one of his biggest fans. Like, I have been one of Lucio's biggest fans. I've never been one of them who thinks he isn't good enough or that he won't get better, because I think he will. Just lately, he hasn't been on it for me, apart from those goals. His team performance is taking the goals away.
Yeah, he was blistering at the start. He banged in 5 in pretty short order, didn't he? He got up to 5 in the league within 7 games, maybe.
Yeah. Well, currently,
beginning, yeah.
You know what's funny about it is like you're talking about.
They dried up a tiny little bit, but
you're right. Who is obviously Salah right now is our leading scorer, but you know who's second?
Lucio.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, that didn't do it.
I mean, like if Lucho's not
in the league though, just in the league, just in. I mean, yeah, like if
If you had
but
all,
it
if you
was.
had,
No,
I think
yeah,
his
I know,
goal.
yeah, in the league, the league, he was
even
very
if you
good.
had all
Yeah.
competitions, he might be also. I'd have to double check, but he might
Yeah,
also.
I'm going from the Arsenal game onwards. I've been annoyed with his performances, even though he scored that
No,
after. I've been annoyed with his performances since Arsenal. He hasn't made it up to me yet for what he's done against Arsenal, pissing me off. He hasn't made it up to me
Do you
yet.
know what I've just been thinking though? Before I forget, and this guy mentioned it earlier on, but I'm not going to bring it up in that way. But if I think people at restaurants are missing a trick. If I went into somewhere and they said like that you could get the chicken with lazy gravy, I'd be, oh yeah, I want the lazy gravy. That sounds awesome.
The lazy gravy.
I'm gonna mark that lazy gravy. Yeah, do you want that with lazy gravy? Oh, that sounds good. Yeah, it takes 24 hours to make. Oh yeah, cool. Yeah,
That actually
chicken with
is
lazy gravy. Yeah, that sounds good.
Ryan,
Yeah,
you're a
I'm having
chef.
the lazy gravy.
Don't put your ideas out there too quickly so that someone steals them. That's a good idea. When we open up a restaurant in Liverpool, hopefully we can open up one close to Anfield or something like that. We'll get the lazy gravy.
We're calling it lazy gravy. We'll grab it. We'll get Grab Merch to open it up, and we'll call it lazy gravy, right?
That'd be good. That'd be good.
Well, you know what? To be fair, Brian, I think I know someone in the chat who would love that lazy gravy. He'd be the first one for that restaurant. But anyway,
there'll be a seat reserved just for you.
Yes.
Labones.
What is before we go down this route? Let's say, what was your rating for Lucho Malante? I got the others.
So about to say pass that over to Brian after the last comment, but
yeah.
Anyway, yeah, with Lucio, yeah, I mean, agreedly, I mean, I won't go too deep with the knife with Lee. What Lee did. I'm gonna go to Colombia. Hey, listen, I want to visit Colombia, man. So yeah, give me a pass. Vamos.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, man. Hey, look. Let's be honest. We all honest. It wasn't Lucho's best game. I think we all watched the stream. We all watched the match together. He's had better games.
Yeah.
Usual hard working. He's a little bit. I want to say anonymous, but he just didn't do what he did.
You have to look far. Just remember his last game. His last game was his best game. Yeah.
Best game. Yeah. So he was lucky to stay in the pitch. So in that half, I'll give him. It was an average performance, about 66 for me.
All right. We got it 78 from KJ, an 80 from Jimmy, 70 from Hash, 76 from Hylor. I don't know if anyone else rated him like that. So I had him at a 72. I think that's fair.
Yeah, it's been his decisions on the pitch that have frustrated me of late. Not his efforts. His efforts never in question, but his decisions on the pitch have frustrated me in recent weeks. Let's put it that way.
All right.
Yes,
no, that might be a fatal flaw, actually, Red Armchair. It does sound like it was. No, okay, so we'd have to repackage it as in, like, it's quality gravy that's for people who are too lazy to make their own, so it's lazy gravy. There you go.
Oh yeah,
maybe like lazy gravy. Oh, see, I think Hustle Bones has trademarked it.
Yeah. I think Bones would be the first one to that restaurant. Lazy gravy. You like a bit of lazy gravy, then you Bones.
There you go.
Does that count as making your own gravy when it's like powder? You make it out of like powder because that's what gravy is. It's bloody granules, isn't it? So I'm not that lazy. I was thinking that I was one of those.
I mean, like,
actually. Yeah, I do actually make the effort to make
gravy. No, real gravy does actually take 2 days to make.
I do actually.
Gravy's so lazy that the gravy made to make you lazy. How about that? Let's go to Darwin Darweezy, the Investor. Romantico. Darwin.
He's like the postman that goes to the wrong house twice before he gets to the right one. Is there a fancy Spanish word for that? One nice
thing was when he got hauled off, he didn't have a cob on, did he?
El Confuso.
He didn't have El Cob on, did he? No. He was all
El Losto Postmano.
Yeah. Where are we rate Darwin? Let's go, people. What are you doing? Where are you rating Darwin at here? What's your rating for Darwin? Man, who's got the game winner technically. Someone that was for someone that also there was a great graph or not graph, but it was a I guess it was I guess called a graph, or what do you want to call it? The thing that we saw yesterday. I forget what they call that.
Yeah.
What?
It's not. It's like a pie chart ish type thing.
We were looking at the thing of
or it's like a spider. I think they made it call like a spider chart or something.
Oh, I know the thing you mean. Yes, I know the thing you mean.
I don't
know exactly what the term is for it.
Yeah, they are called spider graphs.
Spider graphs. Okay. So like, what was interesting statistic on that was the fact of like he's doing everything you'd want to see from a forward. He ranks, if you look at his statistics, he ranks in the top 4 percentile or the 96th percentile of forwards in all of Europe. But there was numbers that he was doing last year that he's not getting this year, and that is like his XG or shots and the likes. Attacking. Yeah. And let me say this, yesterday he had 6 shots. That's a lot of shots for someone that was struggling to find just one at times. 3 shots on target, so 2 shots off target, 1 shot blocked. Was 1 for 1 for his dribble attempts. Big chance. He created 1 big chance. Had only 27 touches, though. Again, not many touches. 27 touches, 14 out of 16 for his passing. So 88% for his passing. Was 1 for 1 for long balls. 1 out of 4 for his ground duels. Was offside once. But only lost the ball 5 times, was committed 2 fouls, and had 1 player dribble past him yesterday. But the all-important thing was his XG was 1.00, and he was also had a goal from that. Played 65 minutes.
Yeah, well, you said that's it, Dean. Okay, so we must take note of that even when he has a bad game, otherwise the important thing is that he scores. Noted.
Well,
So when he doesn't score and he has a defensive game that's good, okay, noted. No, I gave my man of the match yesterday, but the second one, actually, the one that's actually I think is like that second one. I mean, the second chance, the chance that he put over the bar. I think he did pretty much everything right. I think the only thing, and it's not criticism, he had a little bit too long to think about it. If it had to be just 1 touch, 2 touch, he probably would. It's more instinctive. But anybody knows when you have the ball and you're running and you're thinking about what you're trying to do, it gets a little. You can tense up a little bit. Whereas sometimes when you only have a half a second to make it, you hit it's in. So I'll give him that one. That's fine. It's actually the header later on that he put wide of the post. That was the one that I was thinking he needed to score. That was actually an easier one. I was like, when you're looking back at it, he probably should have buried that one. But hey, look, again, he's in the position.
The defender jumping in front of him took his eye off it slightly.
A little bit, yeah. But that was more of a kind of like I'll give him the second because he, like I said, every single touch was perfect until the finish just didn't bend enough for him. And we've all played, you can't make the ball bend. Sometimes it just doesn't bend enough. So cool, whatever. But that header was like probably should have. But look, he had a great game. Look, and again, I can understand why everybody was so annoyed with him going off. But you can only think, right, he's looking at the next game now. Because he has to be now looking at the next game and thinking.
I think, unfortunately, the next game is international.
I know.
That's sucks, But then again, he probably will score for Uruguay because he has been really good for him for that.
Yeah. But I'd like to hear a good explanation from Slot. And he's the kind of coach that if he was asked a question, he probably will give you one. He'll probably get asked it. I'm sure we've seen it somewhere. It's up there somewhere. Like someone said, so what was the plan there? Bringing Darwin off so early and the boys off so early, considering you don't have a game on Tuesday or Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll probably, if someone asks him that question, he'll say, well, it was this or it was that. And why did Diaz stay on instead of, hopefully he'll just come out and he'll give us not the answers we demand, not that kind of thing, but some good insight into it, because I like that from him as a coach.
Yeah,
if reporters ask him interesting questions,
he's not shy with answering, giving concise and precise answers to questions. Certainly,
unless it's about contracts. If it's about tactics, like if these guys ask him interesting questions, he'll give them proper answers. He's like, "Cool, yeah, let's talk about tactics." Whereas you say, "So what's going on with the transfers?" He's like, "Come on, don't be giving me that." But I like him as a coach. It gives us as fans more to. Because a lot of times you're left in the dark wondering, what it gives you more kind of grounding on what you're talking about.
Yep, agreed. Hyler brought in a stat. Nunez, 75, scored one, the least likely on his 3 big chances, at least twice as many shots as any other player in his 65 minutes on the pitch, but with twice as many big chances missed too.
It was definitely the hardest one to score out of all of them, probably.
Out of all of them, probably so. Yeah. But again, you know what's unique about it is
very
that
Darwin.
Out of in his defense, out of those attempts that he was creating a lot. A lot of them were created on by himself too, in the sense of he was taking advantage of having the freedom to shoot a little bit more.
But I'm definitely sorry, just quickly. No one can say, not but no one can come out with we're not creating chances for him thing. He got his chances. Like you said, 6 times more shots than his average. Getting involved. But it is actually insane because I remember him dribbling a few times and getting at least 6 touches. And to say that over the whole thing, he only had 27 touches in total. Because I remember with the ball,
Darwin often wasn't it? Scored the hardest one out of it. A hat-trick of chances, that was a Darwinism.
But sure, the guy was going off. If he doesn't score that, that's a red card to Villa.
Yeah, I was interested in that after the game. I was interested in what Slot said after the game when they asked him about the game, and he was talking about the way Villa played it. And the way he played it after we'd scored a goal. That was interesting. So that probably tells you a little bit about why Nunez and Curtis went off. He felt he could win the game without them. Oh, we had won the game.
It's impressive, though, isn't it? It's impressive the impact.
I just think it's a difference.
Game after only 27 touches.
I think
he looked like he was constantly involved.
Yeah,
it's impressive.
Curtis looked the same. Curtis looked involved. Darwin looked involved.
Yeah, it's no need.
But you know what? It might be too is that the coach. I think this coach, rather than sometimes do what Klopp would do, which is oh well, yeah, we're up 1-0. Let's bring in more offense to kind of hit them harder. This coach can sometimes say, oh yeah, we're up 1-0. Let's bring in some measured components to kind of hold on and maybe get a goal, but primarily not give up the opportunities to concede a goal. So
I'm a much bigger fan of defending a 2-0 lead than I am of defending a 1-0 lead.
Certainly,
it's risky business.
But, it is risky business.
I like his
a silly own goal or something or a slip or whatever could happen. Yeah. I don't think that's been actually. I don't know if he won his appeal or not, but I don't believe.
Oh yeah, they revoked that or whatever it was. Yeah, they undid the ban or whatever you want to call it. Yeah,
he's back to being able to play for international. He played the last international for them.
Yeah.
Big up, Abdul. Good to see you. Many, many, many thanks and praises to you and your family. It is so good to see you. And all right, let's get on. Did everyone give their score? Remind me, did I miss anyone for their score on the panel? I showed the scores for
Yeah, I don't think I gave my score
Okay,
No, you
for
didn't
Darwin.
actually. No,
okay.
Nah.
no.
I want to make sure. Yes, go ahead.
Again, I think similar to what's been said, there's not really much more to be said, really. But we've done the Darwin talk, so it's a shame. He's for me, he was going to an 80 plus again. I don't think he should have been taken off, but in that case, I'll say 78 for Darwin.
Okay. Let's stick with. I had him at an 80. I saw people's ratings for him. Let's just stay with the 80. At least I think I saw it. No, maybe him 77. Gotcha. All right. Let's move on to Mohamed Salah, the king. What would you rate Salah, Nalante?
Again, Salah, I think you just sometimes, again, we can't complain. He's just been becoming the moments person, the man with the moments. In the game itself, it wasn't his best game all round. He was very sloppy with his passes. He done one good cross to that Darwin. That was a beautiful cross that Darwin then he got on. And if he would have got that, that would have been 2-0. But apart from that, he was a little bit sloppy in his play and his passing, Salah. But again, he created confusion. I mean, he kind of fell down. I mean, to give that as an assist, that's a bit cheeky. But
Yeah,
it was after the time. Yeah, that's a bit too much over the top.
Come on.
Yeah.
Nah, it's too tough. Come on. Well, 12. Now we've got to call his spade.
He got taken out for that. He deserves it.
But I wouldn't call that assist. But anyway, it's fine. Anyway, but that, and then he got the goal to seal the game. And yeah, so but he's apart from that, his overall play weren't great best. So if I'm giving Darwin a 78, I'll say Salah's the same. About 78 for Salah.
Okay. What was your rating for him, Brian?
Yeah, a lot of what Nalante said. As long as those moments are goals and game breaking stuff, he's not. We're not Klopp Liverpool anymore, so you're not going to see the early rampaging days of these. It's just a different thing now. You've got a guy who will probably deliver more often than not. He will deliver. I think the one thing about him with yesterday, the second goal, his first goal, it looks like to a degree the ball goes out and the defender makes a bad touch and it ricochets off Salah and he goes past. And it is a little to do with that, but there's actually enough time and space. And you can see that Salah anticipates what's going to happen. And he actually sets himself to make the header. It's not a reactionary header where it's come at him. He just goes bang. You can, if you watch it, you can see he actually anticipates it and he sets himself. So he's ready when the ball comes at him because he's thinking, haha, I thought that might happen. And he nods it exactly where he wants to be. The anticipation and the game intelligence in that one moment, to me, summed him up because that's been his style of play so often. He's so ready to anticipate a defender's mistake because he knows if this goes wrong for this guy, it's going to go here. I'm going to be ready for that. Might not happen, but if it does, I'll be ready. And he can do that in about a quarter of a second. And then he's ready for it. He nods that on. It's a pass to himself. It's not a ricochet. That to me was a moment of class for him that's gone totally overlooked. And that's pure anticipation. And you cannot buy that. So that's what you keep when you keep someone like him. I thought he was, he's our game winner now, really at the moment. And I would give him just for that. Yeah, I mean, more often than not, he's our big game guy, you know.
Yeah.
Like I said, I said even if he's leaving, he's not going to phone it in. Even if he leaves it, he is not phoning it. He's going full pelt. He's going to go out on a high with as many goals and records, even if he is going. He will not be sitting on the bench. You know, oh, I don't want to get injured. I got a big move coming. No, 100% commitment, 100% Salah. He's going to want to go out one of his best seasons, and he's on track for one of them. So, yeah, I'm back in love with Salah this season completely. Top quality. And all again, another player the slander needs to end. So I'll give him an 85.
Okay. It's kind of interesting. 85, you said, right?
Yeah, 85. 85.
Cool. That's what I gave him, actually, to be honest with you. Again, let me see if I can share this with you guys here, make this bigger. Again,
Mr. Coots.
This was ruled by him as not being a foul, by the way. He waved this off, by the way. How crazy is that?
It's insane. There's a part of me that would have enjoyed VAR getting involved and seeing the sending off, but like I did prefer the goal.
No, I preferred that as well because it would have just kind of. There's no guarantee for the 10 men.
Part of me though that would have liked to have seen his stupid face, like the one there in the still, trying to like explain why it wasn't a sending off and go there having been being summoned over to the camera at the touchline.
Well, to be
absolutely incredible though.
Yeah, but it's all right. We've got VAR, so even if they would VAR would have looked at that, and then they would have came to the decision. He would have been off. So Mr. Coots would have been screwed.
He was involved in one of our terrible VAR decisions. Can't remember which one. I think it was one of Tottenham, was it? He was in the room for that.
He waved it off though. That's the
no,
thing.
but it was his. No, he played advantage, didn't he?
No, he waved it off. He originally waved it off.
No, if he's come out and said since that it wasn't a foul, then but I assumed he was playing advantage.
That's what I was thinking as well.
That was the whole point. You can see it. You can see his action.
Initially watching it, I
know his arms, but that's
people were trying to say he was saying no foul. He was actually motioning no foul.
Right.
No,
Probably not.
I don't know. Yeah, no. I like I say, I assumed he was playing advantage.
Yeah, no, exactly, bro. I agree. Yeah.
But if he's come out and said no, I wasn't calling a foul on it, I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, I don't know what he's come out to say. I don't think referees come out.
Well, no. I mean, sorry, yeah, he doesn't come out and say it. But if
I mean, who knows? But
yeah, no, I was just sitting here assuming it was like the like the Garcia ghost goal, like the guy that he was getting pelters for that, and he always said like, yeah, but if we hadn't given the Garcia goal, it was going to be a penalty for Liverpool, and Czech was going to be sent off. So we played the advantage and gave the goal for Liverpool. Chelsea never bring up the fact that if they'd ruled that it didn't cross the line, it would have been a sending off and a penalty. Like that was the first thing I thought of when I saw it. The guys just said, "Look, that guy is super lucky." I think it was Rogers it was Bailey, wasn't it? Yeah, it was Bailey. Because I was just saying, you're super lucky Núñez scored, because if he hadn't scored, you would have been sent off, mate.
Yeah, Bailey.
That was straight away what I was thinking. So, yeah. Well, yeah, like he said, like Renate said, they would have brought him over for that. Surely he would have to go to the screen. But he's the guy. That's his first game back in the Premier League since he gave the penalty against United, against West Ham, that got Ten Hag sacked, as they're saying. But in his last game, he got that wrong. So he had been demoted to the Championship. That's what they do to the ref. They demote him to the Champ. That was his first game back in the Premier League since making that mistake that had got him demoted.
Yep.
So, yeah, nice work. Cootsie, which is probably,
Welcome back.
Call them. Yeah. Coots. They always have those stupid nicknames for each other. Coots and I don't know, Chavs or whatever the fuck they
call a bunch of coots, you lot.
Yeah, exactly. A bunch of coots. Yeah, that we should trademark that. Refs are a bunch of coots.
Jeez, I don't know if you want to trademark that, but anyway,
that's your first hoodie. That's the first bit of merch. That's your first bit of merch. A hoodie with refs are a bunch of coots written on the front.
Maybe so. But
and Pusey, the name on the back. You know the guy that plays for Man City, Pusey. That's how you pronounce it, right?
Well, Germany actually
Here's
had
one
the
of it.
player, didn't he, that said it, but it wasn't spelled with a C, it was spelled Kuntz, and it was on the
Yeah,
back of
Kuntz.
yeah, a bunch of.
Stefan Kuntz.
But the Germans were into it. Remember, there was like a wee thing for was he Three Lions when we played them again, and the Germans were in it in the video, and they turned around and they've all got Kuntz on their backs.
Yeah. Do you remember the guy Celtic had? Do you remember the guy Celtic had? Do you remember him?
Who was their one?
Delante, do you know what I'm talking about? Delante, do you know the guy I'm talking about? The guy Celtic had? A bit of, about names. No, they had
Oh.
Do you know the guy I'm talking about?
Which guy
Like
from sorry? Remind me.
They were talking about Stefan Kuntz and that,
Oh,
German
right.
guy.
Oh,
do you remember the Celtic guy with a name? Do you remember that guy?
Yeah. He played in. I think they were. Yeah, the '98 team, Celtic team. I think no, '98.
Brazilian
98,
defender. Brazilian defender.
So yeah, I know you're talking about. I just forgot his name, to be honest.
He had German heritage.
We'll allow for you guys to work that one out.
Yeah.
We'll allow for you guys to work that one out. Let's stay focused here. Let's go back to the subs here. Let's stay focused. I know, focus on other things. I got you. But let's go to the subs
Bradley.
here.
Connor Bradley. Can I do Connor Bradley? I mean, can I rate Connor Bradley? I mean, can I evaluate Connor Bradley?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Considering where you're sorry. So
I don't remember that one. Brian set up the red out. Yeah, he remembers. I don't remember him. Quality.
Yeah. Let me show like this, by the way.
Is it?
I'll share this. I can share this. Because this is off
Sorry, Tom.
this is
You're
off
right.
someone's camera.
Yeah.
You're good. Sorry, Tom.
This is great though, right? Yeah. How cool is that? The king is back.
Rest up. Yeah.
Whoever seats these are great seats, by the way.
Exactly. Cost you a bomb though.
Great
Say
seats.
that. Where's the money? Yeah.
Check the hair transplant. Check the hair transplant. That's a great angle. Check the hair transplant. It's knitting in nicely. That's good.
Yep.
Yeah, those are some sweet seats, man. Those are some sweet seats.
Sweet
I mean,
seats.
I'd like to be in the just up above the dugouts. I'd like to be just up above the dugouts in the middle, with a bit of height. That's where I'd like to be. You see all the action going on down below. I'd like that. But being behind the goal when one goes in the cop, that must be special.
That's huge, definitely. Let's move on to the substitutes. You want to rate Connor Bradley?
Yeah. 70 for Bradley.
Connor's the first
straight up 70
for that.
Sure I keep it moving. 70 for Bradley. He did well when he came on.
What was it? What was your rating? What was your rating for Connor Lee?
Yeah, 70. Oh, sorry, Lee. Sorry. I thought we were doing one each.
Bradley, yeah, I like.
Oh, you want to do one? Okay. Yeah. All right. No, I got you. I'm gonna give you. I'll give you another player. We can do it that way because we're not gonna rate Endo because Endo came in at the 87th minute. So there's Connor, there's Dom, and there's Cody. Those are Connor got in the 25th minute, obviously for Trent Alexander-Arnold, and then Dom and Cody both got subbed in for Curtis and Darwin in the 65th minute. So you wanted to put him at what'd you say, 70?
Yeah.
For him?
Yeah.
For Connor? Okay. Please do you can still put your votes in there just so they're noted in the chat. 73 from Abdul and a 75 from Jimmy for Connor. Okay. Next up then would be Dominic. Lee, what is your rating for Dominic?
Tom, I gave a 55 because it was only a late sub. I give him oh no, wasn't it late? Was it? He come on earlier, didn't he? He come on.
Yeah.
Oh, he had half an hour, didn't he? I'll give him 60. 60.
Is this 60? Is this 60 because of like the play from like 3 games ago or something, or is this?
Oh,
he only has
no.
half an
Like,
hour.
I just want to make sure. I just want to make
No,
sure.
no.
I
So if you want to drag this, don't you? You want to drag this to the 4 hour mark, don't you?
know.
Yeah, he only has half an hour, so I can't give him loads. Like,
Okay. All right. Can we at least give him a 65? Maybe. Can I
no,
persuade you to give him a
60.
65? You should
Say
say harsh.
this I am convinced.
Harsh.
Hey, he's gonna send you some pound notes in the post.
Yeah, man. Seriously.
You won't get the
Cody.
link for next show. I'll take 5 points on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Cody is the next up. What was your rating for Cody?
Yeah, 63.
63.
Yeah.
63. Interesting. All right. And that brings us to again, I'm gonna give a shout to for Endo for participating. We all wanted to see Endo earlier, actually, to be honest with you. It's kind of wild. We were calling for Endo to come in earlier into the game, but
Yeah, I was
he
glad to
doesn't get a
see
rating
him.
for
See the final minutes out. I thought it was a good move to bring him on. He's good.
Last
in
but
the
not
box.
least,
He's
Arnie.
good in the box, if
Just
they
give me
get
oh, I'm sorry. I was gonna say, Lee, just give me a number on what you have slot. Everyone in the chat includes your number as to what you want to put for Arnie Slot yesterday's performance as our manager. Just give me a number, Lee, and then we're gonna move on to man of the match.
a number for Arnie. Okay, 75 seems fair.
Okay. Irishman.
Yeah, that sounds about fair to me. 75.
Okay.
Made the calls which we weren't happy with, or made calls at different times or whatever. But he comes away with a 2-0, so another clean sheet, a strong win, and yeah, 78.
Okay. Malante.
Same as Lee, 75.
75. So let's go in between here. Looks like he's got an 80 from KJ, 76 from Red Armchair Supporter, 80 from Jimmy. I will say he deserves a 77. Whoops, 77. Excuse me. That brings us to the man of the match. Who was your man of the match? Delante, who was your man of the match?
Robbo.
Robbo. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You did say
Yeah.
that earlier, though. You said that earlier.
Yeah, I did say
Big
it.
up.
Yeah.
I like it. That's not lazy.
Yeah.
Who was your
Want to put some gravy sauce on that?
have some lazy gravy right there. I like it.
Yeah.
Irishman, who was your man of the match?
Well, I'll try and buy myself some credit for the future, and not for the past because it's not about that.
Mm-hmm.
But I will stick with what I said, and what I said yesterday. I'll give it to Darwin because of the impact that he made, and
Big up.
getting the game-breaking goal. So I'll stick with it and give it to him. Even though 20, I'm just amazed that you can look that impactful and only touch the ball 27 times. It's crazy. I would have said double that, but yeah, you had 3 big. What you said, 3 big chances in the game. Was it 3? Yeah, shows you. A little bit. Yeah, Crazy player. He's a crazy player. Yeah. So yeah, I'll give it to him, man. Give it to him.
Okay. Okay. Lee, man of the match.
I'll give it to a midfielder. I'll give it to Grabber. Possibly would give it to Kate if he'd stayed on the pitch, but it'll have to be Grabber because he did stay on the pitch. Yeah, give it to Grabber.
Okay, you guys are not making it easy. So let's see. Who's your man of the match? I see KJ. I just followed you back too, by the way, KJ. That way, and also that way we can communicate through if you need to, if you want to be a part of the upcoming trivia sessions or some of the other shows that we have, you can always just reach out via Twitter to me.
That goes for everybody else in the chat, by the way.
Absolutely.
Quickly,
Absolutely.
anybody that wants to reach out, that's the best way to do it, is to follow 12man on Twitter, and he'll follow you back, and you can DM it, you can swap links that way. That's the best way to do it. Anybody's thinking about wanting to get involved, best way to do it.
Yep. Okay, so Robbo got a shout, Darwin got a shout. Who was your shout again, Lee? Who'd you say?
Grabber. I thought I'd go for midfielder.
Okay. So Ryan got a shout, Ibu got a shout, Kelleher got a shout. Okay. Wow. All right. This is tough. I'm waiting to see if we can get another. Yeah. Mo is definitely going to be a person that needs to get a shout too. Hylor gives Salah a shout. Okay. So I've got now 2 for Kelleher, I think. Jimmy and Red Armchair Supporter both gave it to Kelleher. Okay. We are not making it easy. No, we are not. That's like 6 candidates. This is probably the most candidates for man of the match we've had in a show, possibly.
That's good though.
Yeah.
That's good when you've got like 4 or 5 people that could be man of the match.
Yeah.
That's good.
So far, Kelleher is leading with 2 votes.
Wow.
That's how slim the margins are. Yeah, everyone for okay. I got you, Abdul. You got to pick one. Help us out. Pick one so we can get the votes all properly tallied up.
Yeah, KJ, that's no good, dude. Don't give us I was gonna in a I mean, you can't walk into a voting booth and go, well, I was gonna. Brian, what was your Twitter? And I'll give you a follow. No, I've decided to bin off Twitter, man. The only reason I actually kept a hold of Twitter was because for some reason it was easier for 12man to send me stuff on their WhatsApp now, but now we can do it by WhatsApp. So I never liked Twitter at all. I never liked it. And ever since I stopped playing fantasy football, yeah, binned it, man. Totally binned it. And better for it. But you can follow me on Instagram at Twin Trails RC, and yeah, you can contact me that way if you want.
Let's see. His second choice. I got you. I would have I would have possibly gone for. I mean, all the candidates that everyone said have been all like could have gotten or strong candidates. I think they're all viable players for man of the match. I think if I didn't,
how are we going to break it?
I know because I had actually my vote was for Darwin since he had the game winner as being man of the match, and
the game opener. Well, yeah, but I'd go pedantic on that one. Was it
what? You're
well, no, it was a 2-1-2-0.
You
You got the first goal. Yeah, but it
own...
wasn't the game winner. No, but if it was a 1-0, yeah, it'd be a game winner.
Okay, no, you got in your mind, it's not the game. It is the game. What goal won the game? What goal won the game? Was it Mo Salah's goal that won the game? No, it was Darwin's goal.
No, but
without Darwin's goal, we would not have won the game. Now, if it was 2-1 and Mo Salah got the goal,
yeah,
I
but
would say
I get 100%. Look, I understand why you're saying it. I'm just saying I wouldn't call it. I'd call it the game. I'd call it the opening goal. I wouldn't call it the winning goal. In a 2-0 win. Yeah, so it was the opener. I mean, the way to go.
Yeah.
But he opened the game like it was a game breaking goal. He won that.
As in, even if Mo Salah didn't score,
no, I get what you're saying exactly. If Mo hadn't
the game
scored,
would
it
still
would
be
have,
a
and it would have said 1-0. Yeah, but it's like it's weird. It's no, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying if it's a 2-0 win, it's like it's kind of like what was the game winning goal? I suppose where they were kind of, but he scored the opener. Mo scored the closer, basically. But yeah, he was the guy, man. Look, I gave him man of the match. You know, I'm not fighting with you. I'm not arguing with you. I gave him man of the match. You know.
Second goal finished the game off against. Yeah, that's certainly true. It definitely finished. It basically put the nail in the coffin for the game. I'll agree with that. Mo Salah's goal gave us all because with that said, there's always the opportunity.
Watching the game.
Yeah, there's always that with a 1-0 game. Anything can happen, and it could definitely be an unfortunate result that you get if you try to hold on to a 1-0 game. We ended up getting 2-0, and we won. All right, Gallagher, I will openly admit, had a fantastic game, but I'm gonna say that man of the match deserves to be Darwizi. I think maybe I'm playing a little bit favorites, but that's what it would have. I would have gone with Darwizi. By the way, his missus is expecting, so that's what that celebration was all about. By the way, he hasn't made an announcement.
I have those slippers too. They're probably not as expensive as his ones, but they're definitely the same ones, I think.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Well, they're obviously like they probably cost like fucking 10 grand or something. They're probably like the expensive version. Yeah, they're very warm, very nice.
Okay, they're like Uggs or something. They look like Uggs almost or something.
Yeah, they probably are.
His
versions probably are like fucking 500 quid or something. Well, I hope it's his
missus. Yeah, I've never seen her.
Because she's holding up a baby thing, so I certainly hope it is.
What?
Some chick he met down the club, it's like I hope it's the missus. Yeah.
I didn't even know that he had a missus. I don't know nothing about Darwin, like his personal life. That's the first I've seen.
You see, that's one of the.
I believe he's got a daughter already. Yeah, I was going to say
that's one of the benefits of him not speaking like perfect English. He doesn't get loads of, he's not always doing interviews. He can you can easily have a little bit of a private life. Can do, oh, sorry, I don't speak well, and then you can. But yeah, he's very under the radar. Definitely, he's not one of those people you see stories about or you hear things about, and that's not easy these days. As a high profile player. So I respect him for keeping stuff under wraps. That's the first time I've ever seen anything like him kind of personal like that, and that's good. Especially the scrutiny these people are under. They need to be able to live their lives off the pitch, get on with shit, but sharing a bit of good news like that, that's cool.
Yeah. We can say Kelleher got man of the match as well, if that makes it easier. Since
they are rugs. KJ is saying they are rugs. His brother.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay. All right.
But yes, big up to him. Hopefully, he can have somewhat of the same result of performances that Curtis has seen by the new addition to the family. I believe Darwin has a child already. He has one. I'm not sure. I believe he has a daughter. I'll say.
Oh, he does.
But,
Yeah, sure. They were there, and they when all that shit kicked off. Him and I think he has two kids were in the middle. It was his wife and at least one of his kids was there. So yeah, £1 million, Abdul. £1 million. Okay, cool.
cost £1 million. Yeah. They're the Darwin edition, I guess, or something.
Yeah.
Darwin edition costs £1 million. I got you. Yeah, Kelleher definitely someone that had an exceptional game yesterday. He only had made 2 saves, but those 2 saves were spot on. Got people on the internet going a little bit crazy with some of the shouts saying that he's possibly the best goalkeeper in the world currently. But
wait, what now?
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that post on Twitter asking. Let me see if I can find it. Actually, I might still have it open here. Let me see if I can find it.
Look, if he was from Waterford, then yeah, maybe. But he's from Cork, so let's just I'm not going to go that far. If he was from Waterford, yeah, definitely, he'd best go.
Let's just measure it.
Yeah,
measure that temper.
He's Irish, but he's not.
Let's see.
Irish. Yeah. But I have seen people say that it gives Liverpool a genuine question, and that's neutral. People not trying to cause fights, but people looking at going objectively going, well, okay, what have Liverpool got on their hands here? Have they made a mistake in maybe bringing in someone, not allowing him to come in? It's like he's getting some massive respect now. So I think maybe this might work in our benefit, that when he does leave, we may now get that £40 million bid that wasn't coming before. That's what I'm looking. He has massively raised. He's other clubs that wouldn't have been looking at him before might now be looking at him if he wants to leave. Like bigger clubs, Inter Milan or Atletico Madrid or something like that. So
there was this. Yep. He's had a what?
Oh, sorry. No, he. This has been brilliant for him, profile wise. He's reminded the world how good he is. It's like, hey, I'm on the market, by the way. I'm not going to Wolves now. It's like, I think this is like, I think we've kind of moved. We've made our move with Mamrashvili. I don't think we're going to backtrack maybe and kind of go, oh well, have we? What would we do to keep Kelleher now? How would we do that? Maybe it's not ideal actually now, because you've got a brilliant goalkeeper in your hands now, and you've already kind of bought his replacement. So we're it's interesting how it's worked out.
There was a picture of here's a video of him. They said that as long as it's on the internet, I can share something. So hopefully I don't get in trouble for it. So I'll be bold and see if we can share this. This is actually Kelleher save, apparently. Here. Kelleher save. Well done. Well done.
You got to make it big. You got to make it full screen.
I got to make it full screen.
Yeah. It's like a little box in the corner.
I got you. I'll make it full screen next time.
Oh, it's just that Shaolin soccer. That's what that is. That Shaolin? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I don't want to get. That's only. I think I only showed like 4 seconds of it, so I don't think I'll get in trouble for that. Yeah. All the same, big up to Kelleher, big up to Liverpool, big up to all the mighty Reds out there that have big up to Dom, big up to Darwin on his announcement. Let's just say big up to top of the leagues, to those that are being able to enjoy that feeling, which is an immense feeling. Let me say that. That is an incredible feeling. So we're going to end the segment here, but I was going to say, is there anything that you wanted to say to the people before we allow for them to enjoy the rest of their Sunday? Start with Irishman.
No, just the usual. Thanks for being in tonight, and see you again tomorrow. Hopefully,
yeah.
When we'll get into the international break together, so a lot more random type shows, so quizzes and all that type of thing. Like so, we said earlier on, if you're interested in that, make sure you follow 12 Man on Twitter so you can get in contact with them.
Absolutely. It's gonna be fun. There's gonna be some really. You guys are gonna really, I think, enjoy what we have lined up for the international break. Hopefully, it can shot put us into the graces of YouTube and not being so stingy with the notifications of our show. And Lee, is there something you want to say to the people? Final thoughts?
Yes, thanks for your contributions, everyone. Join me in hoping that the international break will see all our players return fit after it's over. And then we go again, don't we, afterwards?
Yep. Spot on. And last but not least, Lante, would you like to give a final thought on today for the people?
Yes, and before I do that, 12, I'd like to just let everyone know I've got my own YouTube channel coming, and the title of that will be Toilet Trafford, the Fall of Toilet Trafford and Code Man Failing.
You've got a subscriber already, hear me?
Great.
I'm only joking, guys, but you know. I know.
Sponsored by Lazy Gravy.
Exactly. Lazy Gravy. Don't worry, guys. Get the Lazy Gravy sauce, you know. Got some
in
lazy
5 years'
players
time,
on
they're
the...
going to be the biggest sponsor on YouTube. Guaranteed.
Indeed. Mate, I'll tell you, after this, after this, the four of us will make a fortune, literally. The Lazy Gravy. Great. So you can get it all in Walmart, UK, Asda, all worldwide national stores.
There you go.
Right, before 12 ends it, as again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for another great show with the most with the host, 12th man, the man in Arizona. Catch him if you can, not like Peter Pan, you dig? And the flying Irishman, Brian, he can come with you at all angles. If you want to have a little debate with him in Liverpool, he will take you back to the Red Sea. And the man with the inside knowledge of Anfield, Scouser Lee. Once again, blessings to you in the chat, KJ, Bernadette, who's left, Helia, Abdul, Red Armchair, all of you, Philip, blessings to you, all of you in the chat. But what I will end you with this. Slot, where art thou slot? Give the ball to Darwin, who put it in the tops. Number one, can we last the race? All we Liverpool fans want in 2025 in May to be finishing first place. And at that note, ladies and gentlemen, with a great weekend of, unfortunately Toilet Trafford won, but they're more near the relegation zone. And they tried to compare Arteta to who? Who? You can compare him to the cones that he used to pick up for Pep. Thank you very much. And also the pressure of City, Pep. Losing his cool. We won 6 titles, but obviously Pep is getting ready for the slot machine to roll in December to sweep them even further behind. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'd just like to say, as I always say, be safe, take care, love one another, and keep your families safe and close to your hearts. Arrivederci, sayonara, au revoir, Francois. You never walk alone.
There you go, people. Said best by Nolante, one of definitely our cherished Mighty Reds. And you are a cherished Mighty Red out there too, by the fact that you guys show the support that you do for our channel here. So I appreciate each and every one of you. Hope that we continue to grow together. And I can only hope that we stay atop of the leagues, plural, and that you guys all have a great Sunday, whether it's morning, evening, afternoon, whatever it is for you. I hope that's a fantastic Sunday, even if it's Monday possibly for you. I hope that's a fantastic day for you, and look for us tomorrow to be bringing you some great content as we start this international break. Top of the leagues, people, top of the leagues. So with that, as I always like to say, up the Reds, people, always up the Reds. See you tomorrow.